crappy
Start
week.
video transmission, post a tweet. All right. Perfect. So
I'm depending on your channel to bring in the subs now, so.
well, then let's do a good job, huh?
Yeah, this live stream, if it doesn't bring in a ton of subs for me, I will never speak to you again.
That is a very, very selfish way of looking at things.
Yes, I am selfish boy.
I'm a selfish boy. Oh.
Okay. Yeah. Five Goal for Force is in the chart. Yo.
Hey, what's up, dude?
Also, so is Marax. I don't know who that is.
Hello. Hi, guys.
Maraxel, Lizzie. These
Hi,
are names
everyone.
that I don't know, unfortunately. I'm sorry.
They're from
Five Goal for Force is in the chart. I'm assuming they're from your.
Yes.
Your, also, I can hear the video.
Yeah, I was playing on my phone to get the shareable link because there are some people who want to be here. Apparently, they can see the 100 sub Q&A thing, which is perfect.
Good. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. All right, everybody, we're gonna get started soon. I'm just posting the link around a little bit. Getting it to some people who wanted it personalized. Wanted me to send it to them personally, and then we will get started.
Yeet.
Yeet. Eat, eat.
To Sandman, sand me a man. Make him the sandiest man that you can. See?
You can sing. Wow, I'm impressed.
Also, I'm gonna tell you this now. Interviews doesn't have an M in it.
What?
The word interviews in your description doesn't have an M. It's in your description of the video.
Oh, really? Oh, geez.
You put imder. That's hard to say. I like it.
Wow, I'm actually kind of embarrassed. So.
Oh, don't be embarrassed. Come on, man. Typos happen all the time, especially whenever you're nervous.
I'm so embarrassed. I'm not nervous, but I'm just so embarrassed.
You are nervous out of your mind right now.
I'm actually not. I'm actually really excited for this, if I'm being honest. Because
Really?
this is awesome.
You put yeah, I know. Imder. It is pretty cool. I'm pretty happy.
There was an ad on my video. Oh wait, no. What happened? It just took me to some. No. I'm not nervous.
What?
Nothing.
Okay.
I don't know why it's interviews. It's not even what I put into the thing. Oh my god. Oh well, I don't really care. It's a typo. Shit happens.
Look, it's all good, Matthew. Interviews.
Interviews.
I can't even say that. Your match chats now. I can't even say that. Damn it.
Yeah, you can't. You can't say that anymore. Oh boy. It's gonna be fun.
Better be.
I'm still posting the thing around, so just give me a minute.
Yo, make me a mod, bro.
Make you a mod on what?
On the chat.
Chat. How do I do that? I don't even know how to do that.
On the chat, you click the 3 dots next to my name, and you hit ban. You hit add moderator.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Let me go do that.
You ain't gotta make me a mod, but you should.
I'm going to.
That way I can moderate the chat while I interview you.
Good idea.
Hey, yo, Motley. Yo, make me a mod, bro. Yo, Motley.
I'm actually gonna make a few people here moderators.
Cool. So how is everybody doing that is listening to the video at this point in time, you beautiful, beautiful people? I hope your nights are going well, or afternoons if you're across the ocean. Nope, that would be even later in the night. What am I talking about? It's afternoon here. I am very confused. Where am I?
I don't know. Where are you?
I have no idea. Dude, I don't know what I was saying there. I hope everyone's having a great day. I hope you're all excited. I'm going to be asking Mr. Matt's Chats, so Mr. Chats, some questions.
Mr. Chat,
Um,
it's great.
as we all know, Matt's last name is Chats. He is
Mm-hmm.
Matthew Chats,
I am.
which is a really good pseudonym if you if you need one.
MC
Uh,
Matt.
MC Matt. Oh God.
Found that out last night during the Phasmophobia live stream.
That was pretty bad.
That was.
Your 90s, granted, your 90s rapping was exactly what it needed to be. Didn't make it good.
Yes, yes. It would have been great in the 90s.
It would have. No, in the like late 80s, early 90s, you would have been like top tier.
I would have been
Um,
like the next Vanilla Ice.
I was thinking Will Smith.
Oh, okay. Well, that's still bigger than Vanilla Ice, though, so I'll take that.
Fair. It was so for anyone who cares or doesn't care, it doesn't really matter. I'm going to say it anyways. In our Phasmophobia game last night that we streamed over on the Nevermore Collective, we had in Phasmophobia you have 4 goals you have to perform for every game.
For the
For
game.
some reason, huh?
For the game.
Right, yeah. So 4 for the each round, whatever. But the thing is, they rhymed last night.
They did.
Like the first 2 rhymed and the bottom 2 rhymed, and I was like, that's perfect. And then he went 90s rap with it, and I kind of hated it, but it's okay. It's okay. He did it. We're just gonna move on, accept that it happened. We're gonna move forward from that controversy. He's very sorry. He is very sorry for what happened.
No, I'm not.
For anybody he hurt, for anybody he injured, he is very sorry and apologetic.
Yeah,
He didn't mean to do it.
my voice kind of breaks eardrums. It just happens. I'm sorry, guys. It just happens.
Look, we got to get this YouTuber apology out of the way right now. So,
I'm so sorry.
look, no, hang on. You gotta adjust the camera, even though you're not on camera. Stare at it for a second and say, I have had a serious and continual lapse in judgment.
Okay, give me a second. I have had a serious and controversial lapse in judgment.
I said continual, but
Okay, whatever.
fine, make it your own, I guess. Okay, so there you go. Now you've gotten the
I'm sorry. There we go.
there you go. You've gotten the Logan Paul apology out of the way. We're good to go.
Logan Paul apology.
Now all you gotta do is take that audio you just did, and anytime you cause a controversy, just use it.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
Just there you go. So I mean, we're good. We are good. I'm trying to buy time until Patience comes back down here with water because she was gonna go fill the thing up, our bottles up, and she hasn't come back down yet. And my throat's dry. Plus, you haven't said go, and I'm just biting for time till you say go.
I'm still putting the link around. Like,
Okay.
I have a lot of different places to post it.
Timothy Duran said it best. Instead of saying, "Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned," say, "I'm sorry, Daddy, I've been very naughty." Oh God, I never want to say that again.
Make sure to hit that thumbs up, though. Please. Guys, please. That gets my out there. And...
Did you just ignore what I said to go there? Okay.
No, yeah, I did. I'm
I
sorry.
ignored it too. It's fine.
Alright, perfect. Then I guess we ignored each other for a second, and everybody's
I-
happy.
I hate that I said it.
That's great. That is so great. Alright, I just sent it to like a bunch of people. I think I just sent it to like 30 people personally, and I put it on like almost every Discord that I can. Oh, there's a couple more. Hold on. I'm really trying to put this out there, guys, because I really like, I'm not going to do many live streams like this, so put it out there and see where it goes. How many people we can get on in here to have fun. There's one thing that, Raven has not mentioned yet, guys. We'll be taking viewer questions at some point, too.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, I'll do that. I didn't mention it because you didn't tell me that.
I know. I was keeping it a secret. Just keeping it a secret from everybody.
Way to Way to make me the bad guy.
You're not the bad guy. I'm the bad guy for not telling you.
Bro, I'm joking with you. It's cool.
Yeah, I know. Oh, we have 13 likes. 13 likes.
Yo, 14 on my side, but yeah.
Oh, 14 now. Yeah.
I was not prepared, but still.
16.
Hot damn.
Hot damn. Yeah.
Should I go log in with my alt accounts and like it too? Or...
I mean, if you want to. If anyone has any alt accounts and wants to bring up those thumbs, please do.
Yeah, I mean, I'm actually 160 of your subs. Right, just so you know.
Oh, you're 160 out of my 163. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for the loving messages. You know, Ezra and Rando and PA and everybody. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. And yes, it's a 100 sub live stream when I already have 163. So.
To be fair to Mr. Chats, he didn't exactly have a whole lot of time between his 100 subs and today.
Yeah, it's been a week.
Because it was like hey, we need to get the 100 sub special idea going. And it was like, all right, let's do it on this day. And by the time we said that, it was less than a week away. And then he was already at 150. So
yeah, yeah. I understand. I grew up I got like 50 of those in like a week and a half, guys. Like, I have not had any time to prepare.
He's had a pretty good week, in other words.
Yes, I've had a very good week. I think I gained 12 yesterday and then another 11 today. So it's been very quick. We got 20 likes on my end.
Which is really good considering your channel size. Not trying to say that.
No, you're fine. I like the honesty. You know this.
Well, so here's how I always say it, okay? And this applies to everybody who has a smaller channel. How many subs did you say you gained today already?
11.
11?
Yeah.
Okay. How many subs did you gain yesterday?
12.
12. So that's 23. If you had so with your 23 subs that you've gained, that is almost a 20% net increase on subscribers.
I think that's good.
You added almost 20% of your subscriber numbers to your subscriber count. If you had 1 million subs, that would be what, 200 or 20,000?
Yeah. No, 200,000.
200,000.
Yeah.
Right. So think about it comparatively.
Yeah, that's a fair point. All right. Are you ready, Raven?
I am never ready for anything ever.
That sounds about right. This sounds like you.
I'm glad that I sound like me.
I mean, that's a good thing, though. Your honesty is.
If I didn't sound like me, we might have a problem.
And anybody who's part of my Twitter, please put this out there. Reshare that shit. Get it out there. Let's get these views and likes up, guys.
I tweeted it out.
I think... I know I put it up. I don't think I retweeted or anything,
but so like right now you have 16 watching, and 160 subs. You're at a 10% viewership watching your videos right now. Watching this live stream. If I had 10% viewership on my live streams, I'd have 300 people. So that's pretty good.
Okay.
No, do you get my point though? Like
Yeah.
if you do, if you don't just look at like, oh, it's only 15, 16 people, and look at it as, oh, it's 10%. That's significant. Ratios, my man, ratios.
Ratios,
anyway,
yeah. That's a good point.
We can, I have no problem starting anytime you want. Matthew?
Yeah?
Mr. Chats? Are you ready to go?
I'm ready to.
Exactly. Clear the throat, get all proper, yeah.
Proper, yeah.
Okay, so I will say that you sent me a 100 sub live stream. Hang on, I'm getting comfortable. Google Doc.
Yes, I did.
These questions seem a little scattered.
They very much are.
That's what this is going to be. It's going to be a Q&A, and you're gonna answer some interesting questions.
Oh yes, from what I did see, there's a lot of interesting questions.
I agree. All right. So question number 1, my friend.
Okay.
How different is the editing process for interviews compared to narrations?
Well, it's much different, especially with what I do, being podcast episodes mainly now. There's really no editing involved. I generally just kind of, I usually just end the interview, put it into my, it gets into my files, and then I just kind of upload it when I'm ready. But recently, I have been reaching out to some people to help me with editing because my editing skills are, well, they're shit. So, which has helped, but from what I know, the editing process is much different because when I do a narration, which I am working on one, it's just taking forever because I take a lot of breaths in between my words, which which takes a while.
Right.
So it's a bit different. It's much more there's a lot more time involved in editing a narration than one of my podcast episodes.
Right.
Yeah.
So, to kind of branch off that and to explain, and I don't know if you want me to do this ever or if you just want me to ask the questions, but I'm going to branch off it anyways.
Go
You
ahead.
can yell at me after the stream. So to
I-
branch off that, like, I'm one of the few narrators who records and edits at the same time. So if I'm saying a sentence like, he walked into the bedroom and then he saw, but I accidentally say something like, he walked into like a stutter, I'll stop, delete that whole sentence, and then start that sentence over. I'm one of the few that does that. TDN's another one, and he actually is the one who got me doing it. And I have found that that is a fantastic way to do it if you can maintain your flow and do it, because it cuts out so much time.
Mhm.
So that's just something I would recommend if you can try. However, those situations like you said, where you said you take a long breath, I understand that sometimes. I get that, and I know you have other issues, but my issues, like, I just sometimes have to pause, take a breath, whatever.
Yeah.
So my recommendation on that is get used to hitting Shift and then Shift R, or sorry, Space Bar and then Shift R, space to pause, Shift R to restart the recording from where it is. So if you need to take a deep breath, you can actually pause the recording and then continue, and it feels way more natural.
Mhm.
So, and you don't have to like keep editing out those breaths. But that's just my suggestion. It doesn't mean anything. If you don't like it, it's fine. But
I do.
okay, just good. All right, so I'm gonna assume that a lot of the people here know you to some extent.
Yeah, I'd say probably a good 95%.
Good. So the answer to this question may be known to some, but I'm obviously gonna ask it because it's on the list.
Mhm.
Do you have an interviewer that you look up to? Who and why?
So, I've never really looked up to interviewers, more so podcast hosts and late night show hosts. But one that I look up to, and not because of what he says, but how he conducts his podcast, is Joe Rogan. I don't always agree with what he says, but the way he has his guests come into the room and they just sit there and talk, that simple, is what I really admire, and it's what I've been starting to do on my channel now, which is why I named changed my name to Matt's Chats, because my last interviews have all just been them coming in and we just sit and talk for an hour or two, and yeah, it'd have to be Joe Rogan. But I think in terms of interviewing, I really like the way that Stephen Colbert, or what's the other guy? The other guy that was pretty famous for a while there. I can't remember his name, but him and Stephen, I like the way they interview because they have a nice upbeat personality when they're asking you really serious questions.
Are you talking about Jon Stewart?
Yeah, Jon Stewart. Yeah, because he's really
I had a
funny too.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, good answers, of course. So this question has a very broad scope. So I think that you should answer it potentially in both the idea of the channel and depending on how personal you want to get your personal life as well.
Okay.
So my next question is, if you could redo one thing, what would it be? So again, scope it with the channel itself, and then scope it with your personal life, however deep you're willing to get for the audience.
So, I'll do it in two parts.
Sure.
For the channel, if there's one thing I really wish I could redo is go back to my originals and do it the way I'm doing it now, because it feels so much more natural now than it did back then. Back then it was very, it was too structured, and I didn't like that. And so that's why I've been doing it like I do now. And if I could, I would go back and do it again. In terms of my life, if I could, I'm one of those people who's like, well, even though you made these mistakes in your life, it's led to who you are now.
Right.
But
Same.
if I really could go back and do one thing different, I would not get, into drugs nearly as much as I did.
Hmm.
But
Understandably.
yeah, but on the other hand, I wouldn't change a damn thing.
I very much agree with that. Not the same situation, obviously, on this side, but um, to say that our mistakes are what build us. Our foundations will never not have cracks, kind of thing. So I get that. So
Yeah.
very, very honest of you. And I guess I didn't know how deep you wanted to get with it, so I wasn't gonna, push you on that. But I was just curious if you wanted to do a little
Oh,
personal
I'll
one.
get
So
deep.
very good.
I'll get so
Okay,
deep.
that have to remember this is your channel, and I can't say no to what you just said. Anyways, uh, moving on to question number 4.
All
Thank you for that
right.
answer. That was a very, very sincere and very transparent answer, and I think that um, it was very good of you to say that. So,
Thank you.
next question: if you could interview anyone who, alive or dead, who would it be, and why would you choose that person?
That's actually a really good question because there is a lot of people I would love to just sit down and talk with. Um, okay, I've got two. I want to go with two for this
Okay.
answer. The first one is one that's, a lot of people, I think, in my shoes would, and that is Bruce Lee. Because I have a lot of questions for him.
Yeah.
I'd have
Be,
so many questions for him.
be water, my friend.
Yeah. You know, because if you read these books that have come
Hmm.
out after he was alive, there's a lot about him that we didn't realize what was going on. He was a very angry person, which he himself admitted, but we
Hmm.
didn't know like to what extent. We
Right.
didn't know that he would yell at his wife. We didn't know that he would kick holes in walls and whatnot. And I would ask him stuff like, well, as a man who goes out there in public and is like, very peaceful, very calm, and gives advice on how to stay that way, why didn't you stay that way in your personal life? You know, Stuff like that.
Hmm.
I think another one, if the person, if the person could be restrained and could not do any physical bodily harm to me, would be Adolf Hitler. And I say this, and I know that's very controversial, but I say this because I would pick his brain and make him see how wrong he was for what he did.
Right. Okay. And that's a controversial answer, but for the right reason.
Yeah.
So, interesting. Noted.
Yes, Bruce Lee did do that. Yes. He was a very dark person. He had a dark side to him. Oh, as Seraphin just said.
Again, good answer. So, I kind of want to jump on that one too. If so, that those obviously both the people you just mentioned have are deceased, have passed away, have long been deceased.
Hmm.
Is there anyone who is alive you would add to that as well?
Oh boy. Well, as a fun answer, I'd say Joe Rogan because I
Okay.
think that'd be fun. I think him and I would have a good conversation.
Fair.
But I think another person would be. Oh man, there's so many people. I would love to interview the singer for Disturbed.
So David Draymond, Druckmann,
David Draymond, yes.
Draymond. Okay.
Yeah.
His name has like ch in it, so I always try to say Drackman whenever I.
Yeah, no, I think the CH is silent, but I could be wrong. But
No, I think it's Draymond. I think you're right. I think you're
okay,
right.
okay.
Okay, so, um, good answers. Thank you for answering
you.
the extra part there. Okay, so, kind of rescoping this again. What are the goals for your channel? I mean, obviously we know the goal for every channel, right? To hit PewDiePie numbers and make billions of dollars. But what are your goals as a person for your channel?
Well, actually, my goal for the channel is not necessarily to get those high numbers and to make money. I would like to make money from it. I think that'd be
Right.
great. But that is not like my primary goal or even a sub goal. It's just something that could happen, and that's how I think about it. My
Right.
primary goal for this channel is to interview as many people as I can now because someday my son, and that's the thing about kids. Kids get curious, especially as adults. When it comes to their parents, they want to know more about what their parents were like. And he's going to dig. If my son is like me, he is going to dig into me. He's going to research. He's going to find everything he can on me. And he's going to
Right.
find a lot of dirt. And I want to be able to replace that dirt with some plants that he can enjoy and know that I grew in my time, after the bad parts of my life, after the dark periods. And by interviewing as many people as I can now, he can someday say, hey, my dad had a YouTube channel, and he was an interviewer and a podcast host, and he interviewed all these maybe possibly now famous people back when they were smaller, or back when they were when they were at their peak, or just he can look back on it and enjoy what I did someday, and maybe give him some inspiration to follow his passions and his dreams.
Okay, that's a very noble response. Yeah. So kind of like having, I was trying to figure out how to word my sentences. Sorry. So basically, like having that legacy to leave behind for him. I get that
Yeah,
entirely.
very
That's
much legacy based. Yeah,
very noble.
thank you.
And it's very good of you to look at the things you've done that have been wrong and try to change it to make it right and make the right more important about you. Um, so very okay, good, good. So the next one, staying with your channel, what made you start making interview content?
So the reason why I started, there's a bit of backstory to this, and I think I've covered this a few times now, but I mean I'll never get tired of covering it. I got my first CB19, shot to hopefully not get it. When I was sick in bed, I was like, well, I've always wanted to be a YouTuber, so that's the first box I checked. But I've always wanted to interview people and just sit and talk with people, because that's fun.
Right.
And so that box was checked, and I was like, someday I want to leave something behind for my son that can be held on to forever in the sense of the internet. Because he's going to dig. He's going to want to get to know me. And the best way is to make a YouTube channel, because YouTube channels, even if they die, they are there forever. What they do or what they did is there forever. And that was the third box I got checked, and I was like, I'm finally going to follow my dreams to be a YouTuber in a way that I'm going to enjoy. So I chose interviewing and podcast hosting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I could bounce off of that some and ask, is there
Do
anything
it.
else that if you hadn't chosen interviewing that you would choose that would give you the same level of joy?
Gaming.
Gaming? Okay.
Yeah, I would want to
I
do.
kind of expected that answer from after last night.
I would really like to do game reviews and live stream gaming, but as much as I would like to, that also opens a chance up to have. While I may have a lot of fans, there's a lot of toxicity in a lot of those communities. And
Very much so, yes.
as a man who grew up around constant toxicity in his life, I'm doing my best to avoid it now, because I'm a man of peace now. I don't really like drama. I don't really like BS. So, while I may stream games from time to time on my channel, because I am a big gamer, man, I put over 5,000 hours into Skyrim. I put over 5,000 hours into Stardew Valley. I put over 3,000 hours into not Warframe. What is it? WoW. And then I put 623 days into Warframe. And then I put time into many games. I've been playing games since I was 3 years old. I'm 25 now, so that's 22 years.
Damn. That's a long time. So I get that entirely. So
Yeah.
okay. So good. What advice would you give someone who is just starting out at being an interviewer?
My advice would be, and I think I covered this on over on Grave Matters as well. My advice would be to reach for the stars. If there is someone you want to interview really badly, just go ask. Like, you may get turned down, but just go ask. Go try. Put yourself out there. I've reached out to many people who have millions of subs, and though I may never hear back from them, I can live with the fact that I tried.
Right.
And my second piece of advice is get a nice microphone. They say that your microphone doesn't matter, but to an extent it does, especially if you're like me, who has a bit of a lisp because I don't have all my teeth. I don't have my front teeth. So it gets hard to say certain syllables and vowels, especially the S's, as you can hear. And I think my third piece of advice is to just go for it. If you want to do it, just do it.
Right on. I very much agree with the microphone part of that. I will unfortunately go against the grain and say that the quality of your microphone absolutely will matter. It may not matter at first as you're building your channel, um, but it depending on your environment, it absolutely matters. Like a cheap microphone may work if you have a good soundproofed room you can be in.
Right.
But most of us don't have a sound studio in our house, so
It's true. It's true. Just before we continue, we have 27 people watching right now and
that is
27
awesome.
likes.
Very awesome.
Thank you guys.
That's damn awesome, dude.
Thank you so much, guys, for being here. I really appreciate it from the bottom of my heart.
Beyond proud of that fact, my man. You are like I told you earlier. I know you, and I'm sorry, I'm going to kind of out our conversation a little bit.
Okay.
I know you were having a little bit of personal introspective on maybe you're just getting lucky with how you're growing. It's not that, my man. You are working your ass off for this, and like I told you, your quality as well as your effort are what amounts to your growth, and you are, as a lot of us are, living proof of that. Like you work your ass off, and you're growing because of it. Um, I will never in my life say that my channel grew because I'm lucky. I worked my ass off for this. You're working your ass off for it, so you're growing. That's how this goes.
I think a bit of that comes from being humble. I'm a very humble person.
Oh, so am I. But my humility ends where my channel begins, unfortunately.
Nothing wrong with that, though.
But what I'm saying, though, is you have earned where you are, and you will continue to earn where you're going. So, just saying.
Thank you guys for all the love I'm seeing in the chat, because I am watching this live with you. And, oh boy, my heart is like fluttering right now with all the love you're giving me. I can't even describe.
You got a lot of people here, man.
I do.
And like Lizzie said, hit the like button. It's free.
Yeah,
It is free.
please. Matt fits right in the horror community. Thank you, Pam. I appreciate you. I appreciate all of you. And thank you for the congrats on the 100 subs. I really appreciate that too. We're at 30 likes now. We have 27 people watching. And like, funny enough, him and I were talking about this 2 weeks ago. And at that point, I had 115 or 110 subscribers. Right. And then now that we're doing this, I have 163. 31 likes. And it is so crazy that I already have to start planning something, somewhat small for like a 200 sub.
Right.
Maybe I'll do a gaming live stream for 200 subs. Nothing too big, but still fun. What do you guys think? Gaming live stream for 200 subs. Put a fire in the chat.
My favorite emoji. How did you know? Okay, so, going back to the questions here because I don't want to pull it way too hard, but
yeah.
The next question. So you've already stated your advice, and since you have advice, I have to, as everyone else will, assume that you've grown from your first interview to your most recent. Is there anyone along the way that you wish that you could re-interview?
To tell you that, first off, yes, there is a few people, and I've actually reached out to some of the people I want to re-interview. One of them has said yes. I'm not going to say who. I'm going to keep it a surprise. But I'll tell you the others. I wanted to re-interview Let's Read, because I really liked the conversation him and I had. It was an hour and 20 minutes. It was my longest one at that point, and it was my fourth interview. I really wanted to bring back Mr. Spook as well, because it was a fun time. And now that I'm doing this new form where it's just simply talking, I could get the amount of time we talk up, and I can get more subjects in, and it's not simple as question, answer. And, unfortunately, I don't think Mr. Spook has not, or I think he did say he is interested. Joel said he's interested, but he's very busy right now. She's going to let me know. But there are some others. I want to bring back Red Nova. I want to bring back 242, which she already knows this. I want to bring back Miss Creepy Tales. I pretty much want to bring back everybody that I interviewed in the old form. So, TDN, Voice of the Night, Vexorus, PA Nightmares, Ezra Reeds, Stoken, you, Night Terrors, Silver Threads, Lady Spookaria, Amateur Animator, Creepy Clown Girl. Everyone that, from Creepy Clown Girl down, I really want to re-interview. Because this new form just works better. It really does. We got a lot of fires in the chats.
There was a lot of fire in the chat. 242 gave me a fire extinguisher. I refuse to use it, so it's what it is.
I said PA Nightmares. I said you, bro.
Bro, he said your name. He said your name. Calm down.
Like, pretty much everybody I've talked to is coming back. Y'all are coming. I'm not giving you a choice. The only thing that's in your choice is when.
Right. And it's good to have that too. That even if it's just because, hey, you did formal interviews, now you want to do a little more informal, and that's where you're heading. Having those repeat guests is critical because it builds better repertoire. People can be like, oh, he interviewed Let's Read twice, he must be a decent guy, or you kind of already touched on this, but it's still good to ask. Do you see yourself doing YouTube for a long time?
Oh, hell yeah. Man, I'm only 25 years old. I could be doing this till I'm 50. As long as YouTube is around and I have the time and can do it, I'm going to do it. I will be doing this for a very long time. That's for sure. There is no changing my mind.
Right on. So before I continue the list, Dodge this did have a question. I know we're not quite in the group.
That's fine.
Yet, but I wanted to ask because it's good. It's a good one. Who is the most requested narrator?
Well, it really depends on who is asking me, because some people have their favorites, others have their favorites. But if I'm going to go by general popularity, I have to give a little bit here. This is going to be a bit of a long-winded answer. Mm-hmm. The video with the most views on my channel is Mortis Media, which was my second one. So believe it or not, it is sitting at almost 2,000 views. And I think in terms of popularity, I think that would probably be the most requested. But for anyone who's actually asked me, the only person that I've really been asked is if they're coming back is Joel and Raven here, and 242 and Miss Creepy Tales and PA. And actually, I've really just been asked if generally the question is, are any of them coming back? So there is no, one specific person. Thank you for being here, Artzilla. I really appreciate you being here. But, yeah, no, I don't really think there's, one specific person. I think everyone I've talked to has been when are you bringing back all these people? Mm-hmm. And, yeah, there's not one specific. It's generally just who is, not a very, yeah, right. I don't really know how to answer that any more than what I already have.
No, that's a good answer.
Excuse me.
I mean, obviously, you're going to have people asking if you're going to have the big channels like Mortis and Joel back. That's just going to happen. Whenever you're getting that many subs, you have enough fans that the crossover is going to be extreme.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, that's good. That's good to hear. Kind of along that, along the people asking, but not quite. Is there anyone that you wish you? No, I already asked that question. Some of these repeated. I apologize.
Did they?
On your list. Yeah.
That would be my fault, because I was probably tired when I did them first, and then I just kept on adding on and was didn't really pay attention. It's my bad.
No, you're good. You're good. I just noticed that it was repeated. I'm like, whoopsie. So is there someone that you really want to interview but haven't yet?
Darkness Prevails.
Dark Veils, okay.
Dark Veils, I have been watching him for years. Him and Lazy Masquerade are actually pretty even. I want to interview them both really badly. It would make my world. But unfortunately, I did reach out to Dark Veils, mm-hmm. and he turned it down because his anxiety is really high right now, and it just, as he stated, it would just not work for him. Because he has so much anxiety, which I understand. I can't fault him for that. Lazy, I reached out to as well. I have not heard back. But
I feel like he's gonna be hard to get a hold of because he's a big guy.
Yeah, he's huge. Let's see.
With good reason.
Mr. Creepy Tales, he's huge, but I've always watched.
You mean Mr. Creepypasta?
Yeah, Mr. Creepypasta. The one who has the live stream going all the time.
Yeah. MCP.
Yeah, MCP. Yeah. Yeah, I would love to interview him. I think I reached out to him too.
I feel like if you can get a hold of him, he would be willing to. Spike's a very, very open guy. I feel like he would probably be willing to. Though don't quote me on that because I don't know him very well. So. Mm-hmm. Anyways, have you ever been nervous before an interview?
Yes, actually, and it was the Mortis Media interview. And
Understandably.
actually, it's actually been a few of them really. Mortis Media. You Raven. I was really nervous about you. Oh, actually, I have to jump back a little bit. There was one more person that I keep forgetting to mention, but is very much
You're
up
good.
there. Raven Reads.
Yes,
I would love. Oh my god, and we have something set up. It's just timing is off, but
she is always busy.
yeah, she is always busy, and there's nothing wrong with that. I cannot, I cannot, say anything more about that. But yes, I would. It would mean the world to me to interview her too, because she is one of the people I watch every day, every
Hmm.
single day. Um, all right, but what was the question, please? I'm sorry, I got off track.
No, you already answered the nervousness before an interview. So,
Oh yeah, it
uh,
was you. It was Mortis Media, and I think there were a couple others. But when I actually, I was nervous. The thought is what made me nervous. The thought.
right,
But when I actually, got in there and started doing it, the nervousness just went away. It
right.
was you, Mortis, Let's Read, Spook, and Swamp. Those are my big five that made me a little. And as you know, I was really nervous about Swamp because I had to start this new format with no preparation, and I just went in there and did it, and it ended up being working really well. And now it's
Right,
what I do all the time.
right. Well, and yeah, because and sorry, I know you were nervous about Swamp because I had mentioned to you, like, hey, man, just take a breath, keep it calm, and be casual. He's a good guy. For those of you that don't know, Swamp is, again, fantastic guy, but does not like formal interviews. Um, so I'm actually really glad that you interviewed him because honestly, it seems like has helped your channel tremendously.
Oh, it has. Like, it really showed me what my channel could be.
Right. So
And
that's awesome.
I think that interview brought out the best interviewer in me, because it
Yeah,
was
no,
just
for sure,
very natural. Like, I didn't
for
have
sure.
to.
I see that.
Yeah. I didn't have to pause. I didn't have to like think about how to get the next question in there, how to avenue it. I could just talk with him and just talk and just bring something up right on the spot without there needing an avenue. And yeah, because of that interview, that's why I do the format I do now, and that's why we've had the name change. All because of that one interview.
I'm finding that people in the chat are saying that they were actually intimidated by me.
Really? You guys
They
were
were nervous
intimidated by
around.
the big purple
Apparently,
bird?
they were like nervous around me at first, and they were happy to see that I was a polite person. Like I'm really surprised about that. Like I I don't know what about me makes me intimidating. Just know that I am a very maybe it's okay. I'm a very transparent person and very straightforward, sometimes to a fault, but I am a very nice person. If you just want to ask me a question or collab or whatever, just message me. So,
He is.
um,
Like, I asked him if we could collab, and he just said yes on the spot, even though my voice sucks.
yeah, I mean, absolutely. See, Matthew is terrible, but I still no, I'm just kidding. But no, like, you know, if you guys see my Sunday streams, you know me more as a person. Um, the reason Matt and I know each other is because Pam, a mutual fan of ours, was like, "Hey, you should be interviewed by him," and then told you that you should interview me, and I was like, "Okay, sure." And it was just like there was like no animosity or no like I don't know this guy, no, and out there whatsoever. So that's crazy. So thinking about that, sorry, it's so crazy to think. Whenever you interviewed me, you were at like 50 subs.
Yeah, it's
You were
true.
like 48, 40. Because I remember I subbed with like my two accounts, and I think I got you to 49. And I was like, that's awesome. I'm so glad to see that could help some. But damn,
Yeah,
sorry.
I was really small. And I like to think back that my Mortis Media interview was done when I had like 10 subs.
Right.
And I was
Yeah,
like,
you've
I felt
tripled
like
in size since you and I have met.
oh yeah, I've grown so much, like exponentially too. And we're not talking about like over a long period of time. We're talking like the 3 weeks you and I have been talking. I went from like 50 subs to 166 now because I just checked it.
Right.
Like,
Yeah. No. Just you, you're gonna have to be plotting out your 200, even if it's just something small. Just plot it out.
well, according to the chat and all their
Game
fire,
stream.
according to the chat and all their fire, it's going to be a gaming live stream. And unfortunately, I lost one subscriber in the
Oh,
time we've been talking, so it's 165 again. But that's okay. I'm happy with what I
so
got.
just so everybody knows, YouTube is very anal about duplicate accounts. Like if you have a brand account under your main account and you sub, it may rip it away. Just FYI. Um, so just that may be what that is. Someone subbed with a duplicate account and YouTube was like, nope. It happens. What type of microphone do you use, Matthew?
I use a Blue Yeti Blackout Edition microphone, and it's very good quality, as you can hear. There are times when I still need to kind of adjust the settings because this thing has a grain button. It has 4 different types of settings, which all do something different, and you have your volume button on it as well as a mute button, and it is a beautiful piece of machinery.
Yes, it is. If anyone's curious, it's the exact same mic that I use and have been using for about a year now. So, and I don't. The only reason I'll switch away is if it dies.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to tell the chat right now that yes, the 200 sub live stream will be a gaming live stream. Now I need you guys to tell me what you want to see, and here are your choices. You have Phasmophobia, in which I'll take 3 other people with me to join on that live stream. You have Brawlhalla, which will be me versus Raven live.
What?
And we have Portal 2. Those are your 3 choices. Let us know in the chat what you want to see me play, or if you want to see me whoop Raven's butt just one more time. Sorry, Raven. I think the big purple bird is a little flustered bird right now. Oh, he's muted. Raven, you're muted, bro.
Well, hey, I was still talking.
Oh, I'm sorry, man.
You're good. No, I said you're gonna kick my ass because I've only played the game like once a long time ago. So, okay, fair enough. I guess I'm gonna get dragged into it one way or another. So.
Well, looks like the reigning one is Phasmophobia so far. Oh, someone wants me to play Fable 2. Oh, it's Rando, and Rando loves that game. I'm not surprised. I love Fable 2, I won't lie, but I don't know if I do it for the live stream. But we'll see. Whatever you guys vote the most will be what I play for the 200 sub gaming live stream.
There's a lot of Phasmophobia. I'm just gonna warn you guys, if you want to play Phas, don't have me on it because I don't take that game serious. Seraphine suggests a Nuzlocke challenge of Pokemon Gold version. I support that.
Okay, alright, that's actually an interesting idea. I've done a Nuzlocke for Pokemon, and it's really hard. It's really hard.
I don't do Nuzlockes just because I'm like, well, I fainted in the first route, I'm out.
Alright, 242 says, Phasmophobia and take me. I can die for your live stream.
I mean,
oh boy.
Neither one of you died last night whenever we played.
Well, that's because we have all the gear. We cannot die, or we don't have gear.
That's because you were watching me get murdered through the window.
That was so funny. You're just like chilling in there. The ghost literally walked right by you and did nothing. It was great.
Nice. Anyways.
Yes, let's move on.
Okay, so, hey, it's your interview, my friend, so whatever you want me to do. There are times when guests refuse to answer or expand upon certain questions, and obviously you respect their wishes.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel any responsibility as an interviewer to get them to answer? And as a note here, this says, I say this because it seems like those would be the most type of intimate and interesting answers. I understand the respect you want to show them. I'm just wondering if there's any room for you to prod more from guests so that we can get to know them as intimately as possible. And I like this question, but at the same time, I like that you're respectful of not pushing. So what's your answer?
No, I actually like what you said because it has a lot to do with my answer. Now, let's say the person I'm interviewing was accused of, I don't know, some heinous crime, right? And they have gone for years without saying or admitting it, and people felt like, people were really tired of not having an answer. I would push and prod to get an answer out of that person. All respect would go out the window, especially if there was some kind of proof that he did it, but it was not enough in court. I would do everything in my power to get them to even slightly admit it or show that they did it.
Right.
But in general, while it is great to push and prod into those kind of questions, if the person's willing, I would. One thing that people don't see, and Raven, I even asked you this question when I interviewed you, is how personal do you want me to get with these questions?
Right.
Because if you're willing to be completely open, then I will go and get those really deep answers that are interesting. But if a person would rather just keep it surface level, I can respect that, and I will respect that all the way through. Even though it'd be fun to kind of get to know them on that deeper level for them and for their fans and mine. I'm a very respectful person, and people have boundaries, and I'm not trying to break those boundaries. I'm trying to get them to have a good time just talking with me.
Right. Yeah, like Sweet Black Swan said, you have to be careful with those kinds of subjects, though, right?
Right.
And I agree with what you're saying. It's like those are the situations where you ask a question, they're like, yeah, vague answer, and you're like, could you expand? They're like, no, I'm actually done with this interview because now I'm uncomfortable.
Yes.
And as an interviewer, I can imagine that would be like your worst nightmare, to just have your guests leave because they felt uncomfortable.
I was watching the 20 times celebrities walked out of interviews today before I took a small nap. Well, it was not a small nap. It was like 3 hours, and I didn't even mean for it to be. I kept on sleeping through the alarm. Like, I was not hearing the alarm. It was not waking me. But Robert Downey Jr. walked out of an interview because someone asked him about his previous drug use and whatnot. And imagine, okay, and this was at the time where it was about the new Avengers movie.
Oh, wow.
Yes. So imagine you're that interviewer, and he walks out on your interview when it's about the Avengers movie. I could not imagine that. That'd be horrible.
The time span between him being that person in the Avengers, though, and the fact that he's grown so much as a person,
Yeah.
asking about that just becomes inappropriate.
It is inappropriate, because he's already come out on interviews and talked about it. Why would you need to bring it up again? Like, it's been, I think it was like 15 years, 20 years since those times.
Right.
And
Like,
I don't.
we all know who he was. That's the thing. We don't need to be told again by him. Don't make him uncomfortable. Just move on.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. All right. So, what/who? So I guess you could answer both or either or. Inspired you in life? That's a very general question. Very open.
That's actually. I got to think about this one. I actually have to think about a question.
Well,
Okay.
with all respect, that's very
That's a very big and it's a big and open question.
right.
Bruce Lee's way of like the be water, my friend quotation, right? He's talking about how you always need to flow with your life,
Yes.
regardless of what's going on. That kind of thinking I really enjoy from him. So that has been one piece that has pushed me to be a better person and to keep going and how to handle my life. Another person is another idol. I'll say an idol of mine is Les Stroud, because even in the toughest situations during his Survivor Man series, he stays calm, he stays collected, and he pushes through to the end. Another one of mine is my old Taekwondo teacher from years ago.
Okay.
His way of thinking was very much calm, collected. Even when someone's yelling in your face, screaming at you, putting his hands on you, just stay calm, stay collected, and don't let that kind of stress get to you. And then my last one, and this is when it gets kind of personal. My old therapist from when I was really young. He is an amazing man. His name is Adam.
Okay.
And he has no social media, so the only time I can reach out to him is through email, which I don't much because he's a very professional guy. But
Right.
he helped me learn that I could be a much better person than my family, and that I could achieve any dream that I wanted if I put my mind to it. And while I was really young and could not think about, with all the abuse that was going on in my life, I could not think about and focus on aiming for my dreams. It was just more about survival at that point. But his teachings have come back to haunt me in the best way possible and have been helping to push me every day. And is part of why I made this channel. Yeah.
Okay, that's awesome. And I know you said that with him it was more about survival than anything, but you got to remember, man, you wouldn't be where you are without surviving. So,
Yeah. I had a
obviously,
hard life growing up, so
oh right,
survival, just going day by day, was a challenge. But yeah,
right. So, okay,
well, yeah.
so
Just to
I'm gonna
intervene
wrap.
really quick.
Sure,
I'm
take your time,
sorry.
man. It's your
Um,
channel, it's your interview.
yeah, but you're my interviewer, and I don't want to be a rude interviewee.
I'm just the guy sitting here.
And you're the guy asking the questions and helping to keep this thing going. We have 35 likes, and the highest amount of people I saw watching was 31.
Hell yes.
Bro,
Well,
thank you everybody. For even right now we have 20 people watching. Thank you. I love
as a
you
pointer,
guys.
I had to point this out to Rando at one point in time too. That 20 watching now does not mean there's only 20 watching. That
Oh
means there's
yeah.
20 that are actively watching. So you may actually have 30 people with the tab open in the background.
Yeah.
So it's hard to say.
And
Um,
even if you're one of those people, thank you for just listening. I really appreciate all of you. From the bottom of my heart, I love you all. Thank you.
yes, good people, all of them.
Oh yeah.
Okay. I am going to give you a 5 rapid fire question. Sorry, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. I cannot count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 for sure. It's going to be 5 rapid fire questions. I don't want you to think too hard on them. I just want you to answer them quickly, okay?
Yes, sir.
Favorite movie?
Shawshank Redemption.
Favorite TV show?
Lost.
Favorite video game?
2 minute account. 2 minute to say.
Okay. Favorite sport?
UFC. MMA.
Favorite hobbies? Favorite
YouTube.
hobbies? YouTube. Okay, cool. That was one question. It was just like, I'm just going to rapid fire them. Because, like, favorite movie, show, game, sport, hobbies. I'm like, just rapid fire it. Don't let them think. Okay, so cool. Next question. Now that we got that very unsubstantial question out of the way, how do you view life and existence, Matthew?
How do I view life in existence? That's actually a really good question. And if I'm being honest, how I view life and existence is that every single day, good or bad, depression, anxiety induced, whatever, every single day is a learning lesson. There is something in that day that you can learn from something you did or may not have done. It could have been someone else.
Right.
But every day, it's just a learning lesson. There's something to learn from every day, and you take those lessons, and you learn from them, and you keep moving forward. And I think you have to look at life in a positive way, even if it's hard. You gotta look at it in a way that's positive. I'm gonna get kind of personal. All right, guys. You guys are gonna hear. I was a drug addict at one point in my life. Not like heroin, or like cocaine or anything like that. But I was smoking like a pound of marijuana a day, or not a day, a week. I was taking like 20 plus pills of Adderall a day, and I was drinking heavily on top of it while also working 60 plus hours a week. So
Wow.
I wasn't like in a good headspace, and I learned from that. I learned, one, I don't want to be that person anymore, because that person was very mean and angry and wasting his time and his life away. And I learned that if I could move on from where I'm at now, I could be the best person in the world for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I view life and existence as just try to be positive, and just no matter what happens, whether there's an afterlife or not, whether something good or bad happens, just try your best to stay positive and be optimistic. Be open to change and opinion, because if you're not open to change and opinion, you're always going to stay this one person who never learned anything.
Right. You'll stagnate.
Exactly, you'll stagnate. You're thinking maybe, well, all soda is crap all the time and you should never enjoy it, even just occasionally, because it's still really bad. Okay. Then the person next to you maybe, well, I love soda, and drinking it occasionally has shown that if you dilute it with water and you stay pretty much healthy and use it as an occasional thing, it cannot cause much bodily damage or any at all.
Hmm.
And if you're that person in the middle who has their own thoughts and is not willing to hear either person's opinion and maybe be willing to conform your opinion around what you have learned, and if
Right.
you're not willing to research into something to learn more about it, so you know you have a positive opinion or at least an educated opinion, then your opinion is not as, may not be as substantial as another person's who has put years into, researching that one thing. So
Right.
being willing to research and to learn and to form your opinion, maybe not around others, but have an educated opinion, be willing to change it throughout time is a really important thing. Um,
Right. So again, be water.
yeah, be
uh,
water.
Sorry, I always go back to that because that was absolutely my favorite Bruce Lee quote because it's one of the ones that has gotten me through some times. Like, just you know, shaping yourself to your environment and where you are in life and being who you are, um, and that it just fits right with what you said. So, um, plus we're going to go from that question to possibly the one question that needs to be answered. Um, it has to be answered. You have to answer it, and if you answer wrong, Matthew, I have to hang up. I am
Um,
contractually obligated by certain people to hang up the call if you answer wrong.
okay.
Is Shrek super hot?
He's an animated character.
Is Shrek super hot?
Um,
I will call Swamp Dweller if I have to.
I guess I
Thank
don't.
you. Oh,
I guess
oh.
I don't.
If I had some like some of that music from do you want Who Wants to Be a Millionaire playing the I would have played it.
Oh man, you would have too. Like, there's no doubt about that in my mind. Um,
Okay. Whew.
that's a very interesting question. Um, and yeah, I don't know. That's really hard. It's a really hard one to like say yes or no. So I'm gonna say I guess. I'm gonna stay in the middle there. I guess. Yeah.
That that's as close to yes as I need. If you had said no again, I'm sorry. I would have had to have left because Swamp would have found out. He would have hunted me down.
Shrek is love. Shrek is life.
Life, exactly. Thank you so very much. All right. Let's get back to the existentialism. What do you think about when you're alone?
Think about how I can be better for my son, for my wife, and for myself.
Okay, that's less existential than I was going for. I'm joking. Sorry.
That's still pretty existential.
Look, this is a fantastic interview. I love how I'm having to go from how do you view life and existence, and what do you think about when you're alone? To is Shrek super hot, bro? So thank you guys for sending in your questions because and there's the guy that answered it or asked it right there, Mr. Animator.
Oh, really? Animator, thank you. That was kind of funny. I like that
That
one.
was. That was. All right, Matthew. So this is actually a good question. Favorite music artist or genre?
Well, that does change depending on my mood and depending on the day and depending on
For
what's
sure.
going on at that moment in time. I do like a little bit of everything. I'm very much a lover of if I like the song, I like that song, and I'll play that song whenever I'm feeling up to it. Um, but if I really had to like say certain bands or certain people, um, Sabaton is up there,
Okay.
Disturbed,
Yes.
Eminem, some MGK sprinkled in because some of his songs actually are decent, but not many. Not in terms of rap, not many. Um,
Okay.
God, there's so many. I even like, some Luke Bryan, some, you know, oh my gosh, there's so many. I just like a little bit of everything, I guess. But I guess the ones that really take the top are like Eminem, Sabaton, Disturbed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I like it. Okay. So this may feel like a silly question, but I think you can answer it in a way that isn't just a one-word answer. Um, what are you known for? If people were to ask everybody you've interviewed, so let's say interviewing is off the table. You can't answer with the word interviewing. So if anyone was to ask all the people you've interviewed, hey, what do you remember Matt for? What would they say?
His personality.
Okay.
And I say that because there are days, and as you can attest to this, Raven, there are days when I am so full of self-doubt that I cannot pull my own head out of my own ass to realize what I've done in such a small time and what I have around me.
Right.
And there are other days when I'm just so happy and so like full of glee that I feel like I could take on the world. And I think that even though, and there are days when I'm just cranky, like, and it takes a lot to kind of get me out of that crankiness. Mm-hmm. And it is possible, but as you know, I'm gonna say as you know, because Raven, you and I talk like every day. We don't really hide much from each other. But I think my personality, and I think my very weathered way of thinking about things, even though I have my moments of adolescence where I don't think things out fully and I don't think about the full consequences. When it comes to helping others and giving others advice, I have a very weathered and aged opinion on things in terms of knowledge and like how to handle different situations, both the good, the bad, and the middle pieces of that. And so I definitely think opinion, and I definitely think it'd be personality and opinion. Yeah. And I think my go-getterness, like the fact that I am very headstrong. I am very headstrong. When I put my mind to something, there is nothing in the world that will stop me.
All right. I can see that actually. I can see exactly what you're saying. Considering how I know you as a person, I can definitely agree. So, okay, cool. If you could be any animal, what would you pick, and why would you pick Raven? What animal would you pick, and why?
Why would you pick Raven? Actually, I would be a bird. Okay. I don't know what kind of bird. But I would want to be like. Can I ask one extension? Is it a mythical, a cryptid, or a real animal?
How about this? Let's do one of the cryptozoological ideology and then one of actual animals.
Okay, one would be, for the crypto, would be a thunderbird, because they are huge, okay. They are massive, they are unmistakable, undescribable, and they can go anywhere they want, really. And the fact that when they flap their wings and it sounds like thunder, boy, you know it. I think a real life one would again be a bird. A bird or a wolf of some type. Because both have an advantage and both of them kind of speak to my nature. A wolf is very much plays into my go-getterness and my ability to be a leader in most situations. Whereas a bird and the ability to go where I want, when I want, appeals to that willingness to travel and willingness to explore.
Very nice.
And now that I mentioned Wings of Thunder, and it sounds like thunder, when I went, I think it was grouse hunting as a kid, when I was like 11, me and my grandfather were in the woods, and I had my gun ready, he had his gun ready, and we're looking around for them, right? And all of a sudden, we just hear thunder. And these wings flapping, and there was like a bunch of little grouse right in front of us, but they blended in so much that we couldn't see them. And I went to go take my shot. My grandfather's like, "No, don't, not right now." And I was like, "You're gonna stop me from getting my first, trophy?" But I'm glad he did, because the next time he took me out hunting, I had to shoot a squirrel, because he told me to. Yep. And I learned right then and there that I did not like hunting, because I do not like killing things.
Right. I couldn't personally be a hunter, honestly. I don't have like the mentality to be vegan, but I understand the reasoning and the ideology behind it.
Well, I'm not vegan. I eat meat like a mofo.
No. I'm just saying. Sorry, I wasn't trying to say you were, but I was trying to like expand upon that and link it to the ideology of killing. Something is hard.
It is.
Taking another life is difficult. I eat meat as well. I was just trying to say that. Like, I understand the ideology because that's the same ideology I have with hunting. I can't do it.
Yeah,
I
no.
can't bring myself to end another life. I'm very um, appreciative of all life that exists, I guess, around me.
The only
Um,
lives I've ended was that poor squirrel. And I didn't even kill it to, I didn't even shoot it to kill it. When I shot it like somewhere where it still survived, and my grandfather had to go finish it off to put it out of its misery, because I just didn't want to do it. And then I was hired as a butcher one time, and it was to butcher chickens. And
ouch.
do you know how they butcher chickens? They put them in a
Do.
large metal tube, and they slit the throat,
Hmm.
and blood gets everywhere, and it got all over me. And as stress relieving as it was very also hard for me because seeing the blood, seeing everything, I did not like it though. Like I really did not like it, and it has sat with me, and it's haunted my dreams. Like I just don't like doing it.
Right. Okay. So, um, this one has 3 parts.
Okay.
I'll ask all 3 of them, and you can answer them if you want to answer all 3 or just one part of it. Um, what is the weirdest / craziest / funniest thing that has happened to you or that you have done? So I guess it's actually like 6 parts technically.
All right.
Mathematically.
So I'll answer the funny one first. When I was younger, I really, really liked Jackass in those movies, and being that kind of daredevil who's willing to do anything to his body for a laugh. And oh boy, I did a lot of stupid shit when I was in that time period. But the funniest one is when where I lived in Vermont. There was a slanted roof that came down a little bit farther out back than the rest of the house, and it had snowed, so there was like a mound of snow right up against it. And I
Right.
dug a hole through it. I went up the other side, and a I took a sled that I had put butter on the bottom side of it so it'd be extra slick.
Mm-hmm.
And I went to the top of my roof. Now, if I had gone down the other side, it would have been like a good 20-foot fall. It would have not been good. Thankfully, I didn't. But the slanted roof was like perfect for like a small ramp. And so I went up there with it, and I got on it, and I got on it not to sit down, but I got on it like a surfboard. And it excelled at such a speed that when it went off the embankment, it didn't turn itself up to land flat so you could keep going. It went straight down. The nose went straight down, and it went right straight into the snow, and my head went straight into that snow, and it hurt. It hurt so bad, but I was laughing the whole time. What were the other two? I'm sorry.
Well, would you pull that one to be the craziest or the funniest?
That would be I think that's a mix of both. Let's say
Okay,
that.
so the other
Let's say
one's
that
the
one.
weirdest.
Okay, weirdest. Oh boy, that one's hard. The weirdest thing that's ever happened to me would have to be one of my ghost stories, and you could hear people walking down in the basement of the house I grew up in when it was only me and my grandmother there, and there was no work being done on the house. And the basement's locked. There's only one entrance, and the windows are too small for you to kind of shimmy into, because it's a really old-fashioned basement, and it's filled with rocks. It doesn't have a floor. It's just filled with rocks.
So it's
And
more kind of like a crawl space kind of.
no, you can stand up in it. You can walk around in it straight up,
Sure.
standing straight up. But the floor is just all rocks. Like there's no like any kind of concrete in it or anything.
Right.
But to make noise down there, you would really have to be banging your feet, and there was noise being made down there. Like people were working. Like I was hearing people talking. I was hearing tools hit this rock floor, like they were digging. A bunch of different stuff, and you could hear it echoing through the whole house. So I got tired of it. I went to the middle of the floor of the dining room, which is right above where it was happening, which is right above the middle of the basement. And I stamped my foot as hard as I can. I said, "Shut up!" Because I knew nobody was down there, and I knew it was ghosts. And it was really stupid. But, so there's a stupid one for you. But then I heard it stop, and then it came back, and it was louder. So I got tired of it, and I went over to the basement door. I turned on the light because the light switch is at the top of the basement outside of it. And I flicked it on. It was still going. And then I hear someone coming up the stairs from the basement, and I'm freaking out. So my hand is shaking. Like my hand's shaking right now just thinking about this. I go and reach for the knob, and as I'm about to touch the doorknob, all the sound stops. And I opened the door quickly, and there's no one standing on the stairs. And then I didn't hear anything for like 3 weeks.
Wow, that's terrifying.
It was very terrifying, especially when you're like 13 years old and ghosts are not part of your daily life.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, moving back kind of to you and your channel as its purpose, describe for me your perfect interview. How would your perfect interview go?
Actually, I think it's already happened. I think in a lot of ways, my Swamp Dweller interview was my best one because it was really well. It was done really well. It was very free flowing. We got to talk. There were not many interruptions over each other. The only interruptions were when we were laughing, and the only kind of times we were talking over each other was small talk. And we had great stories to tell on both sides, and it was just a really fun time. And I could tell that he was actually having fun with the interview. Another good one was Seraphim, the Midnight Bard, which came out just today. That one was done really well as well. We got to talk about a little bit of everything. We talked about his religion and his experience with a possible possession, and that's what he says too. We talked about aliens. We talked about ghosts. We talked about, life. We talked a little bit about everything, and it was just a great, well done interview. So I think my perfect interviews have been done. I think my dream interview, like I said, would be to have someone like Joe Rogan or like Lazy Masquerade or Dark Prevails.
Right. Okay. And I would agree, by the way, your Swamp and your Seraphim ones were very good interviews. The Swamp one, just Swamp for who he is, honestly. But the Seraphim one, I was actually listening to it while I was helping out with the other one that you wanted me to help you with to render it out. And his possible possession. That was a really good story, and he had me laughing with his statements. I'm not gonna lie. It was a really good interview, though. So.
It was, and I liked that him and I were able to talk about it and live, not live, but right then and there in the moment about why it could have happened and why it could have also been a sham. And he didn't get mad, he didn't get angry. He was very agreeful, and he didn't have any spite towards me after or nothing. In fact, he wants to come back, and I like that we were able to sit there and decode it a little bit more in depth without it being a problem.
For sure. Your mental approach with it being a little more skeptical. I mean, his is obviously skeptical too, but
yes,
you guys were very respectful to each other, and I think that's what makes a good interview and makes it worth watching. Is that you're kind of like, well, there were obviously some red flags. And he's like, no, there were. And I feel bad because, it was my ex-girlfriend's first time going somewhere with my family kind of thing.
Guys, I'm sorry. I really have to interrupt. Raven Rees has just joined the chat, and I gotta shout her out because I love Raven Rees. I love her videos, and I really want her on here to, to have one of my podcast episodes with her. But I just want to say, Raven Rees is amazing. Just like Mr. Spook. I saw Mr. Spook earlier. He's also amazing. And I love them both so much. And we have 41 likes.
Right? That number just keeps climbing, dude. Every time I look over, it's a different number.
Yes. Oh, and Miss Creepy Tales has just joined too. Oh my god. You guys are amazing. Thank you for being here. Like, oh my god. I'm almost crying. Honestly, I think I just felt a tear. Because I'm just so happy right now. Thank you, guys.
It's one hell of a group that you've built up, my friend.
I guess I just made some good connections and some good friends.
Well, of course. And, I mean, being a good person helps too, though, Matt.
Thank you.
If you weren't a good person, I have a feeling we wouldn't be where we are.
I absolutely agree.
So, again, if I may say, you worked your ass for this and you've earned it. So, you actually answered this one on Sunday. What do you do to prepare for an interview, and does it change depending on who you're interviewing?
I definitely answered the first part. What do I do to prepare? I don't really prepare, actually, if I'm being honest. Thank you, Raven. I just saw that chat. Thank you. I don't really prepare. My preparedness is more mental, like to just get in there and do it. And I feel like if I prepare, I will end up talking myself out of it, or I will end up overthinking the whole conversation. And so my mindset is, thank you, Mr. Spook. My mindset is very much, just go in there, just do it, and have the time of your life, and know that the person you're interviewing wants to be there just as bad as you do. Because if they
Mhm.
didn't want to be there, they would not be there. And
Right.
so I gotta put on a great time with them, and being able now with my new way of doing things to just talk to them is absolutely amazing, because it's much easier on me and my anxieties to just get in there and do it, because it's just talking to someone. It's not
Right.
how am I going to avenue into this next question. I don't have to be looking for these little cues to do it. I can just get in there and talk with them. And I think
Yeah.
the second part of that, does it change? Yes. Some of the pre podcast anxiety definitely changes depending on the person I'm interviewing, especially if it's someone that I really enjoy. Like with you, Raven, I told you straight up, I fangirl sometimes. If I have someone coming
Yeah.
on that I'm a big fan of, I will tell them straight up, I am fangirling right now. Just give me 1 second to enjoy this moment, because to me, it's like being in the presence of a celebrity. I did it with Mr.
Right.
Spook. I did it with you. I did it with Swamp. I did it with 242. I pretty much did it with a lot of the people I've interviewed, and
Mhm.
especially Mortis Media. I had to do like 5 minutes of silence just to enjoy it, and he was great the whole time. He loved it.
That's awesome. I I understand that a little too much, to be honest with you. Having spoken to some larger channels, the pre-stated Raven Reed's included in there because she and I have spoken some.
Hmm.
And as you know, on Dark Nest, having interviewed her and Joel and Swamp, I do the same thing. I fangirl absolutely. um, because yeah, I never would have expected to be interviewing these people that I absolutely loved. So, but I'm right there with you, my man. Um, I'm trying to interject a little bit just because we're almost out of questions in this list.
All right, well, with
So
that, real quick, everybody start thinking of some questions. Let's get some viewer questions going.
yeah, we're down to two on the list. So, um, and this one kind of you touched on, but not. I mean, so if you experience anxiety before your interview, do you know where it comes from?
I do. It comes from, well, obviously, the obvious part is the brain. It comes from the brain. Because my mind is messed up. Um, but a lot of the anxiety comes from the person I'm about to talk to and being a big fan. Because, like I said, when you meet a celebrity, what do? You fangirl a little bit. You want to get their autograph. You want to touch them and hug them, and just have
Right.
that moment of weakness with them. And for me, when it's someone I'm a big fan of, or pretty much everyone I'm a big fan of, big or small, it doesn't matter the channel size. I have a moment where I'm like, oh my god, I'm finally getting to talk to this person, like a person to person moment, and or for a time as two people, not two
Right.
channels, and
Right.
that anxiety of there is like, well, don't fuck it up. Don't say
Mm-hmm.
something stupid. Don't stumble your words. Don't do this, don't do that. And so to prepare, I tell myself, well, I've done this a million times now. I've probably put out close to 20 interviews, maybe more. I really haven't kept track. I just do it. And I now have experience in this, and I'm good at doing this. Like, I'm not trying to be like boastful or egotistic. I'm actually pretty decent at doing a podcast and being a podcast
Yep.
host.
I agree.
And so I just tell myself, Matt, you're good at this. You're good at this. You can do this. It's another person that, yes, you may be a fan of, but they're a person just like you, with stuff going on every single day. Um, and just stay focused on what you're about to do.
Right on. So, kind of alongside that, well, I want to ask this one, but at the same time, you kind of just answered it. How do you get past your self doubt if you experience any, which
Well,
you kind of build yourself up and say you're going to do it right?
well, I gotta expand on that more, because I was thinking more in
Please
terms
do.
of anxiety.
Please do.
Self doubt is when I'm telling myself I'm not good enough. All these interviews and all these podcast episodes, and with the 2,000 views on just one video, let alone all of them, and all these subscribers in such a short time, it doesn't mean anything, because I am just crap at what I do, no matter what. And this is stuff I tell myself to bring myself down, because I just have that self doubt. But to bring myself back up, I talk to people who I know support me and see that I'm actually doing well. Like you. Like, the other day, Raven, I told you I'm feeling like crap because um, I'm having some self-doubt. And I made it
Hmm.
clear to you, and I told you that. And you were like, no, man, look at your channel. Look at who you talk to, and look at what you got going on, and you're still able to do this. And look at your growth. You're doing amazing. Um, and yeah, yeah.
Right on. So I do have one question from the chat already. Please, guys, if you have questions, please tag me at As Raven Dreams. If you can't tag because you're on mobile, just put Raven in all caps and I'll see it. I'm gonna try to get them all. If I miss them, I do apologize. Just know the chat is moving at a good speed.
It is.
um, so I got one. I have two now. One from Mr. Spook and one from Chrono. First one from Chrono, because he asked first. Do
Yeah.
you find it hard to reach out to people that you have put in a celebrity status?
No, because I
Okay.
have a very tenacic way of looking at things and thinking, if I don't do this now, one, I may never do it, and two, just do it. And I also have the thinking of reach for the stars, because if I never reach for the stars, I never know how high I'm gonna go.
Okay. Good answer. Um, and Mr. Spook asked, "What is your favorite color?"
Favorite
Surprisingly,
colors.
was not on the list.
Favorite color is actually a mix of red, black, and blue. And that stems from the red and blue stem from my love of the Mega Man franchise, especially the Mega Man X franchise, and just those colors have always appealed to me. But when you have like a nice black mixed in there, it's beautiful.
I feel that. I love the Mega Man X franchise, honestly. Okay.
We have so many more questions, bro.
I know. I'm trying to pull them and ask them at the same time. Um, so Amateur Animator asked, "Do you want to build a snowman?"
um, if there was snow, no, it's too cold. It's too fucking cold, bro. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to shatter your dreams. No, but I will
Straight
say
up.
I love that movie.
Okay. Oh, I just scrolled to the top of the document. Hang on. Uh, making sure. Oh, there's another one. Jeez, you guys all decided to ask at the same time.
I love it. I love it.
I love you guys.
Thank you,
Um,
guys.
Seraphine, the Midnight Bard, wants to know, if you entered a room with your past self and your future self, what would you say to your past self, and what would you ask of your future self?
Oh, that you're gonna have to actually repeat that one after I answer the
Sure.
first part. But if
Okay.
I met my past self in a room, what I would tell my past self is, listen, life is rough right now. You may be going through a lot, and it may look bleak. And I know you're battling with depression now after losing your grandmother. And I know that things are not looking great, but things get better. Take it from me, your future self, who is there right now. You're gonna have a kid someday. You're gonna have a wife. You're gonna have a loving family. You're gonna have fans. You're gonna have fans, dude. You're gonna have a great YouTube channel. And you're gonna have so many new skills that you did not know about, that your life is going to constantly improve. And if I told you all of it now, you might not do it. But look, things are going to get better. Now, what was the second part?
And what would you ask of your future self?
I would ask my future self to do his very best to stay focused on the positives and ignore the negatives and just keep aiming for the stars.
Damn. Those are very, yeah, that was a very deep answer and a very good answer, man.
Thank you.
Um, Sweet Black Swan asked, and still pulling more. Gosh, guys, you guys are awesome.
Thank you,
Um,
guys.
Sweet Black Swan asked, will you encourage your son to try YouTube/content creation as well?
I will. I'm going to expand a little bit more on your on this answer. Hello, Corner Hotel. I have not met you before, but thank you for being here. Um, to expand on that, I am going to push my son in positive ways to aim for the stars that he wants to aim for. And if he likes something, to stick with it. If he doesn't like it, do not be afraid to give up on it either. Because sometimes you have to close a door to open another one.
Yes.
And I feel that as a kid, I did not have anyone to push me for my stars, to reach for my stars. And I didn't have a father figure. I had father figures, but they weren't great. And my own blood father was never there. He appeared in my life for the first time at 14 years old, disappeared again until I was 16, came back when I was 18, saw him again when I was 19, saw him again when I was 21, saw him again when I was 23, saw him again when I was 24, and just before I moved down here, and then I saw him again when I was 25, and that was for him to meet his grandson, and then I have not seen him since. We talk occasionally on Facebook, but I don't really have much to say to him because I know he's my father, I know he's my blood father, but I don't see him as my father. I see my life as I didn't have one, and I need to think like that so I can be the father my son deserves. And so, I'm going to put him into different things. Like, I'm going to push him to do content creation from a young age because it can be a very positive thing. Like,
Right.
since I've started this, I have not taken my antidepressives. You want to know why? Because I've been happy every day. You know, besides the happiness that him and my wife give me. Doing this and meeting so many wonderful people and having friends for the first time in my life at 25 years old. I don't feel alone, and I don't feel like I'm depressed anymore. I feel like I don't need them. I do take them occasionally like I'm supposed to, but I haven't had to rely on them because I'm actually happy for the first time in my life. And I'm going to
Right.
push my son to do what makes him happy and to reach for his stars and see how high he can jump, even if I have to give him a little bit of a boost.
It's awesome, man. Um, I always just personal speculation. I always try to encourage people to, especially younger people like my nephews, to um, follow their art, the art they love, kind of thing. Because as a child, I wasn't pushed to do any sort of artistic stuff. So, and I wish I would have whenever I was a kid. But sorry. Um, to hear you say that means a lot, honestly.
Thank you. Yeah, it's
So,
true. Like, I didn't have that push. And people told me, yeah, if you have something, go for it. That's what they
right,
would say. But they didn't push me. They were like, listen, I know what you want to do. Go and do it. If you need a little bit of a boost, if you need me to do something to help you get started, I will. But you need to just do it because if it's going to make you happy, do it.
right. It was, yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like hearing you say that is awesome. Honestly, that I know it may sound really weird, but it means a lot to me to hear somebody who has a kid say they want to push their kid to do what they want to do. Because yeah. Anyways, sorry, you struck a bit of a heartstring there in me.
Well, if you want me to keep tugging that heartstring, my
We have more.
son is exactly like me.
Good.
At his age, he is not. He's very verbal, but he still can't say his consonants too well, right? And he's 10 months. He's almost 10 months old, and that's a sign that he's gonna be a little autistic, just like me. But he's very advanced in motor functions. He can walk, right? But he likes to support himself. He can walk. He can jump. He can climb. He can do so many things at his age that a lot of kids at his age can't do. And that's how it was for me. I was very bad with my consonants, but I was very advanced in motor skills. So I already know he's gonna think like me. I already know he's gonna do a lot of stuff like I did. So all I can do is just push him to be the best version of him because I didn't get that push, and I've had to push myself, with the support obviously of other people to be my best self
Right.
later on in life. But if I can do it in him early, then he could get so much farther than I have at such a younger age. And that's what I want to do. I want to push him to be his best self, despite what problems he has or will have.
Right. Okay. So, um, moving from that, Rando Calrissian asked, "What is your favorite, or sorry, what is your proudest accomplishment?"
I think being the father I never had already.
Mm-hmm.
And I think up there is also showing that, I'm pretty smart because I got a 4.0 GPA in my first semester of
Yep.
college. But
That's awesome.
I think above that is definitely being the father that I never had already and planning to be the father I never had.
It's a very, very noble goal and one that you are obviously already accomplishing, my friend. So,
Thank you.
um, Amateur Animator asked, "Are there any movies you enjoy in a so bad they're good kind of way, kind of like The Room by Tommy Wiseau?"
I actually haven't seen The Room, but you know, the Blair Witch Project is a great movie, but there are a lot of problems with it. Just like, um, so I enjoyed that one, but I'm not gonna say it's bad. I just really enjoy it despite its flaws. But I guess a better example would be the original Halloween movie by John Carpenter. There are a lot of problems with that movie, both in the story, both in how things are done. But despite that, it's still an amazing movie, and I love it.
Hmm. Okay. Um, kind of a random question
Okay.
from Anime Otome. Is Matt good at math?
No, I suck at math.
Okay,
Um,
so yeah.
I have like a like a basic high school student's understanding of math. And I'm not gonna lie, math is really my one weakness. Where that's where my wife comes in because she is actually a math genius. She does not really need a calculator for any kind of math equation out there. She can do college level math in her head without a calculator.
Nice.
Yes.
Okay. So next was from Seraphin. What song best describes you?
That's really hard.
It's a tough one.
I have so many songs going through my head right now. I'm gonna name a few because there's just so many. Um, Eminem's "Beautiful." That song, describes me a lot. Because even though I've had a lot of bad struggles in my life, I've been able to push forward.
Hmm.
Um, Eminem's, I can't remember the name of it. It goes, "Have you ever loved someone so much you'd give an arm for?" Not these. When I'm gone. When I'm gone. That one describes me a lot. But if we're gonna go into some darker stuff, Falling in Reverse. Even though they're more of a punk rock band, and I don't listen to a whole lot of punk rock, though I do listen to some, a few of their songs really reach out to me and describe me a lot. Raised by the Wolves. Um, what's another good one? Um, Good Girls, Bad Boys. Uh,
Hmm.
Good Girls Like Bad Boys. Um, just another member of the Bad Girls Club. Um, God, I can go all day with this answer, so I'm gonna stop there. But yeah, there's a lot of songs.
Okay. So this question was actually twofold. It was asked by Chrono, and then
Okay,
kind of added to by Anime Otome.
okay.
Um, if you could branch out to a full-fledged talk show, what channel would you be on, and what time spot would you like? And to add to that, what network?
Well, that's actually a really good question because there's so many good ones, man. There are so many good ones.
Hmm.
I'd want something where I have to like really, where I'm pretty much doing a podcast. And there's not a lot of
Right.
shows like that. A lot of them are these upbeat live interviews where they just have come in, have a good time with very few serious questions because they don't want to lose the person that's there. And so it's a
Hmm.
mix of like an interview and a podcast, which is great. But um oh, just to let you know, Raven, Creepy Clown Girl has a big one there.
I know. I caught
Okay.
it.
Okay, cool. I think it would have to be like a midday to late night show, and I think the focus would be just much like what I do now, just getting someone in of any type, celebrity or non-celebrity, you know, and just talking with them for whatever amount of time I want. An hour and a half, 2 hours, 4 hours, half an hour, whatever.
Hmm. Okay.
Maybe like the Discovery Channel or just something that allows some good freedom in their shows.
Right. You'd want it to be a show that you could still control, and yeah,
Yeah,
I see what you're saying. Like a lot of those interview shows, for some reason, like Today's Show comes to mind. It's like that feels so muddied down and watered and
it
or watered down
is.
and muddied. So
It is so
I
much.
get that. Okay. Um. So the next one was from 242. What is one thing you will never do again?
That's a good question because there's a lot of things I could answer with that question.
Right.
I'm gonna name a couple because that seems to be the ongoing thing. Is I have to name a couple
It
because
does.
I've done a lot of things. Like I may be 25 years old, but I've done a lot of good and stupid things. One, I will never get arrested again.
That's a
There,
good choice.
there's a backstory to that. It was a self-defense case, but because Vermont does not have self-defense laws, they had to go with something else. But I can tell you right now, I got off pretty much scot-free because it was self-defense.
Right.
I will never do drugs again. Like, unless my doctor prescribed me something like Adderall, I will not touch it. Um, I was sober for 3 years from alcohol, and as you guys know, I drink from time to time now because I'm dealing with a lot. And, you know, it makes live streams a little bit funny because when I drink, I become very loose and I become very funny.
Right.
But I do want to try to get back to not doing that anymore. And I, as fun and as much as I agree with marijuana use, because I'm not against it at all. I think it has positives. I think it has negatives. Like anything that, any kind of drug, or even drug like, you know, anything that is like marijuana, there are goods and there are bads. And,
Right.
you know, as much as I agree with it, I'm not against it at all. I'm not. I'm very much for the legalization and the free use of it. I personally won't touch it unless, you know, I absolutely needed to, unless it was like prescribed light from a doctor. I will do my best to never touch it because it actually, for me, and this is for me, because some people have different reactions to the THC. Um, for me, it actually makes my depression worse, and it makes me very paranoid now, probably because I used it so much. And you know, back then it did make my depression worse, and I didn't realize it. But in these later years now, I have realized it does actually increase my depression. So it is for my mental health best for me to stay away from it, no matter how fun it can be. Because sometimes it is fun for me, but the after effect of it is that I become very depressed and
Right.
borderline suicidal.
Then it probably is best to stay away from it. Right. I understand that.
Yeah, it definitely is. I like it. Don't get me wrong. I'm all for it, but personally, I can't use it. Sadly,
Right.
because my mental health, and I want to keep that intact. I have a kid. I can't mess around with that anymore.
So I have about, I think, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 more, I believe. Um, I guess that
I gotta answer one real quick. Miss Creepy Tails asks,
Yeah. Okay. I'll
"Does
let you
Matt
answer
know
that.
that he's loved?" And yes, I do. If you guys didn't love me, I would not be sitting here with 44 likes on my first ever live stream. I would not have had 31 viewers. You know, I would not have people who want to talk to me and who want to be on my show and who want to sit here right now, listen to me drone on and on with these answers because I'm very long-winded. So, you know, I know I'm loved, and it's because of all of you wonderful, loving, adorable, God, indescribable people that support me every single day. And I love you all back. Some days I may not be able to show it, and some days I may be really hard on myself. But I love you all. Thank you.
Yes. Okay. Seraphine the Midnight Bard wants to know
Mm-hmm.
who wins in a fight, a gorilla or a grizzly bear?
That would be really close because I have studied animals a lot and their fighting tactics. Now, while the bear would get in some good scratches and good, you know, maybe a couple good breaks, the problem is that they only have a few things to attack with. Their paws, their front paws, and their mouth, right?
Right.
And because when they fight, they often stand up on their two hind legs, but the problem is they're not very mobile on those two hind legs when they're standing. And a gorilla is, well, a gorilla. You know, he's got them big fists, them big arms, a lot of power. His mouth, his hands, he can grab. And that's the big difference is he can grab. Whereas the bear can't. He can paw. He can do his best to use what muscle he has to take the bear in with a bear hug and, you know, bite him. But the gorilla can grab and separate those arms and grab this thing and throw it around. And in the end, the gorilla would win because it's got more power. It can control its power better. It can grab and it can throw, and it's very much more mobile. It's very much like how can I say this? It's very much like a human fighting. Imagine a human fighting a weak animal. You have a lot more mobile. You know your momentum better. You have a lot more strength, and you can grab.
Right. I think the most important hit for the bear would be the first one. That's the thing.
Yes.
If the bear was able to hit an artery, it would win. If anything else, it loses. That's the whole thing.
Even then, though, because a gorilla has really thick skin.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. Like, if it was able to actually get in, I think that maybe end up being a tie, but I think the gorilla would win in the end, no matter what.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. I think I agree with you, and I'll expand on it. If the grizzly bear got an artery in the neck right off the bat, it will probably win in the long run because it may sever that artery, and the gorilla will eventually bleed out. But because the gorilla is going to be so pissed off at that point, it's going to kill that bear right then and there. But it's going to die later. But if the bear does not do that, the gorilla is going to win clean. Come out with a few scratches and bites, but nothing it can't come back from.
I agree. So Mr. Spook asked, what are your goals for your first year of YouTube, and how are you going to achieve those goals?
My goal for the first year of YouTube is actually fairly simple. It's just to do what I'm already doing. Just, interview somebody almost every day. Keep uploading every single day because it's what I love to do. It's not too much of a burden. And my first goal of YouTube is to get out as many as I can and just keep up with it and do some live streams along the way. And, I do want to build a fan base because I want people to watch my content. But that'll happen in time. And, my first year is to just do my thing and see what happens. Do what I'm already doing and see what happens. And make some good friends along the way.
Okay. Makes sense. All right. So 242 asked, if you had a warning label, what would yours say?
Warning label. Warning label would say, be careful, wonderful guy, not afraid to poke into the deepest recesses of your mind.
All right. That's a fair warning label.
Mm-hmm. I think so.
Mine would say do not submerge, but that's not the point.
Before we continue, do you mind if I take like 30 seconds, guys, to just get some more water?
Do what you gotta do, man.
All right, I'll be right back, guys. Keep up the chat. Get us some good questions going, because I want to come back to plenty.
I'm gonna refresh the page, too, so... So, chat, sorry that it's just me now you got to deal with. I'm not the person you were expecting. I know. But you have to deal with me. Assuming he didn't mute me somehow. Yeah. I hope y'all having a beautiful day on this lovely Tuesday. It is, it's a nice day out there.
All right,
it's a nice day to be... Okay, now I'm gonna stop talking. Okay.
No, you can keep talking. I gotta take a sip of my water anyway.
I was just talking random stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, CCG, I know you have 2 questions. I have them both in. I'm just doing them in order.
Wow, guys, 44 likes. Thank you so much. Guys, you guys are amazing. God, you guys are fucking amazing. Like, there's no other way to put it.
They are.
They are, like... I didn't think I'd be so loved by a community that revolves around horror narrators. And I'm primarily an interviewer. And I'm primarily, a podcast host. But, and I do some narrations. You'll hear my voice show up in Raven's videos here soon. You'll hear my voice in 242's pretty soon. You'll hear my voice in Beautiful Nightmare. You'll hear my voice in Idiotic Synergy. And pretty soon you'll hear my voice popping up in MCTs and probably many more. And I guess in a way, I'm a podcast host / narrator. But besides that, you guys have loved me since day one, and I cannot say how much I love you all. Thank you.
So the next one, okay.
Oh yeah, man.
From the Bogs. What did the
Okay.
knights who say "ni" say when they could no longer say "ni"?
Okay, you gotta repeat that one, man. I'm sorry.
What did the knights that say "ni"
Okay.
say when they could no longer say "ni"? Hopefully, you know your Monty Python.
I actually okay. I've never seen any Monty Python, but I'm
Oh
gonna guess it's
no.
like nigh.
No, they say "ni."
You say knee? Okay.
They're the knights that say "nya."
Okay.
Nya.
See, I hate to say it, I've never seen any Monty Python. Um,
That's so sad.
growing up,
F's in the chats, boys.
you gotta understand though. Growing up, my mom raised me around like video games, Blues Clues, documentaries, and rap music. Like I didn't get much for substantialness and seeing a lot of different things in my life. If she didn't like it, I didn't see it, and unfortunately, that's how it went for me. So I missed a lot of good stuff early on in my life.
Okay, well, we'll let it go.
We'll let it go.
We won't all leave, but don't be surprised if that 25 hits single digits here soon.
Wow,
Um,
they wouldn't do that to me, or me not seeing a movie. I hope.
I'm joking.
I know.
Well, it's not just a movie, my friend. It's Monty Python. It is literally pop culture incarnate. How dare
I
you?
am well aware of its status, and I have been wanting to see them, but I haven't found like a good way.
No, you're good. You're good. I'm messing with you, bro.
I know. I love it.
Okay. Sorry, I'm copying more questions over to the doc here so I can.
Yeah, and we got more coming in.
That's what I
Thank you
mean. Is I'm
guys.
copying them as they come in. So.
We're at 111 minutes. Thank you guys.
Hot damn. I'm not being mean to him, Swan. Don't worry. It's just you guys. No. Anyways, Creepy Clown Girl asked for Matt. Through your life, trials and tribulations, is there one person, family, or non-family member that you would say was there for you when you needed them, even though they did not know it?
That's really a good question. Unfortunately, I never really had anybody. Oh, goodbye, 42. We love you. Unfortunately, I never really had anybody that was consistent in my life besides that guy named Adam that I mentioned earlier, who was my therapist. He was someone that I looked up to more than just as my therapist. I didn't see him as my therapist. I gotta go talk to him. I saw him as someone to look up to because he had his head on straight. He was very successful. He loved what he did, and he loved to, be honest and open. And even though he probably doesn't see me as more than just, a patient in a lot of ways. I always saw him as like a possible friend. And so the early on in my life, up towards of 19 years old, I always saw him as like an idol and someone who I looked up to.
Okay, that's awesome. Okay. The next one. What is the most horrifying type of horror to you?
Atmospheric and psychological horror.
Yes.
Like a lot like Phasmophobia, where it's not the ghost being right in front of you that scares you. It's when you walk in the house and you hear that sound constantly, and you hear like the random door opening or the random footsteps, or you hear the lights flicker on and off, and you see them flicker on and off. That kind of horror is really what gets me, is that atmospheric psychological horror.
Where you're trying to set up the camera and you hear that in your
Oh
ears,
my
like, oh my god.
Yes, that
Right.
and you're just like, no, get away from me.
You're sitting there holding the shift button even though your characters don't actually run. You're just like, go faster.
Your characters go from like a slow walk to just spreading their legs just a little bit more.
It's like snail's pace to turtle pace, basically. It's like, well, I'm dead.
Yeah, pretty much.
Chronopasta asked, you mentioned you were a fan of MMA/UFC. Who did you choose in the Ken Shamrock and Tito Ortiz fight?
I actually didn't see that fight. That was really before my time, my dude. But if I had been there and did not already know the results, it would have very much been Tito. because Tito was really still fresh in his prime, and Shamrock was really not. And we all saw what happened.
Okay. So Dea wants to know, how's that hair looking?
It's actually looking pretty long, and unfortunately, my hair grows really fast, and you can already see the brown at the roots again. So it's kind of looking a little bit different, but I like it.
Okay. I feel the long hair thing.
Yeah.
I'm about to go on 2 years since I've last had a haircut.
So. Oh, so you got pretty long. It must be to like your shoulders.
It's past my shoulders. I have very long hair.
Oh, there you go. I
have very long.
The longest time, the one point in time, there was one point in time where my hair was almost touching my ass when I stood up.
Damn.
Yes.
Never hit there, but no, my hair is actually longest now than it's ever been. So. All right. Another one from CCG. For Matt, which, if any, tragic or tragedy in your life would you say had the most profound impact on your life? Good or bad?
I got two. I'm going to have 4 good and 4 bad. The bad first. I actually watched my grandmother pass away in front of me. A bit more graphic. Right now, I'm going to tell you something a bit more graphic. That is, she had tumoric lung cancer. So she had a cancerous tumor growing on her lung. Mm-hmm. One day it popped, and she bled out of every orifice in her body.
Right.
And I watched it happen. I didn't see the initial pop and initial bleeding when I was picked up from school and we got there to the house. We found her laying there, and I watched the blood pool around her and her pass away. And that actually is what kickstarted my depression. Now, the good was I got to marrying my wife. She is really the love of my life. Even though we have our moments, like every couple, where we don't always agree. Marrying my wife is one, but the one that's a little bit higher for me is the birth of my son. My wife had to have a C-section, and when they got him out, I was the first person they handed him to. Even though I honestly wanted my wife, and I told her this before he was born, I was like, I want them to give him to you first, because it would mean a lot to me. Oh my God, I'm starting to get emotional. When I knew that they were strapping down her arms for the C-section, I started to cry a little bit, because my one wish of this was for her to hold him first, and that didn't happen. So they handed him to me first, and as happy as I was still very sad, and it's still, oh my God, I'm actually crying. It still saddens me a little bit, but at the same time, I'm also happy because it was the birth of my son.
Right.
Oh man, I'm sorry. I got a little emotional there.
You're good. Just, you say what you need to say. That's what matters here. And if what you need to say causes you to get emotional, then so be it.
Thank you, Raven, and thank you, everybody.
So, dry those tears and answer this question. Anime wants to know if you like donuts.
I love donuts. Oh, you cannot buy me a box of donuts from anywhere because there will be no donuts left. I will eat all 12 of those donuts in one sitting. No problem.
Yeah, I feel that.
And I'm a really skinny guy, and it does not matter how much I eat. I do not gain weight.
I envy you like none other.
A lot of people do. It's unfortunately it's a high metabolism. Well, fortunately and unfortunately, probably due to my asthma.
Okay, I don't envy that part.
Well, no, but the skinny part is what people envy. But the problem is with a high metabolism, it's very hard to gain muscle because it burns off. Oh, Vidith just joined the chat. Nice to see you, man.
V, my man, how you doing, bro?
I can't wait to have him on. He'll be on soon.
You need to. V is V, however you would say that. Vidith is an amazing person. I was trying to figure out how to pronounce VII.
Oh, and we have Series fan and Series Death in here as well. I was reading her comment while reading her name. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the stream. Get them likes up. Let's reach 50. We're 2 off from 50. Can nobody give me just 2 more? 2 more?
It's still going, bro. Like you're still.
Yeah, I know. We still got so many
We
questions.
dipped to 20, and now we're back to 20. We don't have that many, but we still have quite a few. Where was I? 242 asked before she had to leave. Are you a clean or messy person?
Depends. Some days I'm really clean. Some days I'm really messy. It depends on what my schedule looks like. For the most part, I try to be clean, but there are times when I'm a bit of a messy guy. Like my desk goes through phases of being messy and clean for long periods. So it's really dependent on what I'm doing and how busy I am.
Okay, that's fair. I kind of get that too.
Yeah. Anyone in our line of work does get that. There are times where we're messy and times where we're like really clean.
Right. It's like selectively hyper organized kind of thing. I get that.
Pam says, Matthew, I recruited my 8-year-old to get you an extra like. Thank you. I really appreciate that.
Recruiting the kids nowadays. I love it.
Slave labor.
Anime wants to know, have you ever seen Malibu's Most Wanted?
I don't even know what that is, unfortunately.
Believe it to be a movie.
No, I haven't seen it, sadly.
Okay. Amateur animator. Random question, but I'm curious. Have you seen Futurama and Rick and Morty? If you could choose one, which would you choose? And if you've only seen one, you like? That question ended confusingly, but so between those two.
Between those two, which one have I seen and which one do I like more?
Yeah.
Gosh, I've seen them both. I love them both. I've seen all episodes of Futurama. Unfortunately, I've only seen like the first 2 or 3 seasons. I think the first 2 seasons of Rick and Morty, because when they stopped making them, which was when I was hyped the most, and since then, I haven't really found out how to like keep watching. But no slave labor. I know, it was just a joke. But if I had to just choose one to watch, it would definitely be Rick and Morty, because I think there's a lot of more adult-oriented jokes more often. And I like the weird story they're kind of going with.
Okay.
Bye, everybody.
Oh, we're leaving? We done?
No. No, we're not done. No.
I was like, okay, well, I guess bye. That was kind of a weird place to end it. All right, so next one from CCG. I'm actually down to one more after this. So, if you could rewrite any chapter in your life, which chapter would it be and why? And do you think or feel that by rewriting that chapter that it would change anything or make things better?
Wow, that is a good question. First of all,
CCG has the best questions, honestly.
She really does. She really does. There's no denying that. I mean, I think I come up with some good ones too. But
No, you do. Sorry, let me. Sorry.
I think her and I are even.
Best, like really heartstring pulling, thought provoking.
Oh yeah. I agree. I think we're both kind of even on that because we both have like really good questions, and sometimes they're just a little different. But let's get back to the question. If I had to, come on guys, one more like to 50. We got this. If I had to rewrite one chapter in my history, it would have to be the time when I was drinking and on drugs. But doing so, I already know that we reached 50! We reached 50! Woo! Everybody, thank you! Oh, I love you all. Oh, I fucking love you all. Oh, man.
Now let's reach 51.
I think, even if I did write it, it would actually change a lot now. I don't think I'd be here doing this. I think I'd probably be much further in a career, making some really good money, but I don't think, I would ever even think about doing YouTube as seriously as I am now. So, I am very thankful for what happened, even though it was not good then. I am good now, and I think because of my downfall and hitting the absolute rock bottom I or a person could reach, has been able, and you know, obviously there was my suicide attempt. I think after that, it's just propelled me to be able to do what I really wanted in life, and you know, reach for my stars. Just a quick interruption. I just reached 170 subs. Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much.
I'm watching the like number and it keeps bouncing and it's pissing me off.
It's 51. Solid 51.
I know, but it was 52, then dropped to 50, and then 49, then back to 50. Now it's 51 again. Who is unliking and reliking? Stop it. YouTube, don't take this from us.
Don't take this from us. I will sue YouTube.
I will. I burn this place to the ground. I'm leave you on my stapler.
I'm joking.
Anyways,
I love you
no,
too.
we're gonna commit arson. I'm gonna say it on Matt's channel right now. We are going. No, I'm just kidding.
What?
Anyways.
That's a good plan.
Say it on your channel. You get arrested. I don't have to deal with it. We're good. I wouldn't do that to you. You said you don't want to get arrested again, so I won't do that to you. Anyways, so Amateur Animator asked, we talked about Dark Souls 3 a little, but I never got to know, who do you think is the hardest boss?
I think they're all hard in different ways because they all come at pivotal points in the gameplay to really test your skill. So I think in a way they are all the hardest bosses because of how they're placed when you face them and the differences between them. Because honestly, you know, there is no one just hardest boss. And yeah, some people can narrow it down to that one hardest boss above all. But that one hardest boss is always the final boss because you, at that point, it pushes all the skills you've already learned. But when you're first starting the game, that boss feels like the hardest boss ever because you don't understand the skills. And even when you're the second or third boss in the game, yes, you know the skills, but you haven't mastered them. So that still makes them hard. So I really think that the hardest one is every single boss because they're all at pivotal different points. Yeah.
Actually, I wanted to say, because I hate those games, and I can't think of one right now, but as soon as it's over, I promise I'll probably think of it, where the last boss ends up being easier than the previous boss.
Oh, there's a lot of games like that.
Right, but you know what I mean? Like, you go into the last boss fight, and you're like, oh.
The Crash games.
Okay. Yes.
Crash 1.
Yes.
Crash 3.
Crash 1, where Nitrous is harder to defeat than Cortex.
Yep.
Embryo is harder to fight than Cortex. I hate that so much. But like there are games like that where
Mario.
Yeah, well, some of the Mario games, yeah.
Yeah. I'm not saying like just one specific. I'm saying Mario in general. There's a bunch of games in that collection where the final boss is Bowser and he's just easy as hell, and his kids are fucking extreme.
So, like, my mind goes to 3D World for some reason.
Yes.
Where you got the cat one, because the cat and Cherry, I loved that final boss fight, where he's all climbing up the skyscraper and everything. Sorry, I want to go play that game now. Anyways,
you know,
I don't have any.
And one more, some of the Pokemon games where the champion is easier than some of the other gyms.
Lance is harder to beat than Blue.
Yes, I'm glad somebody said it.
Because in Gen 1, the only thing dragons were weak to was ice.
It's true. Mr. Spook, you have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for being here, my man.
Sorry. I'll say that till the end, because, yeah, dragons were weak to ice and nothing else, because fairy type didn't exist yet. Steel type didn't exist yet.
It's true. And he was much more challenging than Blue, because Blue's team, there's so many weaknesses between all those Pokemon that you can just walk through them. But Lance, if you don't know that the dragon types are weak to ice, you're screwed. You're in for a real battle. Well, and even if you have the weakness, some of those Pokemon will one-hit kill.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you gotta look at, like, what Pokemon could you have used? Lapras and Jinx.
Mm-hmm.
And the only way to get Jinx was through a trade, I believe.
Yep. You're correct.
So, you got Lapras, and,
Lapras is not great in
I guess
stats.
Steel/Dugong would have counted too, but he's water, but he does learn Blizzard.
Yeah, that's true.
So now, and I guess Articuno if he went that route.
That's true too.
But even Articuno, random thing, his Dragonites knew Thunder.
That's
So
true.
Lapras and Articuno are dead. Like, I'm sorry. Yeah. Bit of a nerd here.
Yeah,
Um,
you're fine.
okay. So CCG asked, which horror movie would you say most reflects your life then and now, and why? I guess then just being the past.
Oh man. Now, this one's gonna be a little deep, and maybe a little weird. It Follows. Now, in the actual movie, it's a real paranormal creature that kills you once you have sex with somebody, and that's how it gets passed on to you forever, right?
Mm-hmm.
But in a lot of ways, you always have that pressure of someone on your back following you, ready to kill you, right? That's how my life was like with drugs. Even though there wasn't anyone specific trying or any creature trying to kill me, there was a substance, and it was always there, always following me, ready to kill me at any moment I screwed up.
Right. Right.
So in a lot of ways, It Follows could be a metaphor for the drug use that I had and the life I was living, and the creature being the drugs, constantly there, following me wherever I went.
Okay.
Good night, everybody that's leaving. We love you.
We're starting to dwindle down. I think. I only got one more question, so I think we might be teetering.
No, that's fine.
This last one's actually from CCG as well. If you came across a magic lamp and a genie came out and gave you 3 wishes, what would your 3 wishes be and why? That's actually a good final question.
I actually have to think.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. First wish would be for all the money I need to support my family with no repercussions. Second wish would be to stay in good health without taking away any of my problems with no repercussions. The third one would be for the genie to go back into the lamp and to never come back out ever again, no matter who rubbed it, because that genie has tricks up its sleeve and it's gonna hurt somebody someday. And because of my wishes, there's no repercussions, so he can't do anything to get back at me, and he can never come out again to hurt anyone he may, confuse.
Fair. Humble answers, and then also good looking out for everybody else.
Now, I'm going to say, guys, one more thing. If anyone has one final question, now is the time, because we're going to start dwindling down here and start, slowly going towards the end. So if you have one more question, feel free to put it up now. We'll give you a couple minutes.
I'm not turning into a falcon. Please stop. Please stop, Pam. Pam, please stop. Pam, please stop.
Falcon boy.
No, so if you don't know, that joke comes from Rando's live streams. His brother John.
Uh-huh.
He said something about ravens and falcons are basically the same thing, and I'm like, bro, no. You have zero understanding of avifauna. What is wrong with you? But he was basically like, well, they're both like predators, and I'm like, no, ravens are not predators, and falcons are predators. Anime wants to know what kind of shoes you like.
Whatever fit on my feet and are comfortable, especially for long periods of walking.
Okay. Amateur wants to know, has somebody once told you that the world was going to roll you? Maybe that you weren't the sharpest tool in the shed?
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. I was trying to piece together the words. Thank you, Raven, for answering that for me. I actually have an interview right after this, if he's still up for it, but, I mean, my voice is almost gone. I'm not even gonna lie.
I feel that. If you only had CCG, do you want... Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was breathing.
Oh, I thought you were going to read the question.
No.
Okay, hold on, I'll read the question. CCG has her question. If you only had 5 minutes to live, what would your final words be?
I would tell my son to always aim for the stars, no matter... I would tell my son to always aim for the stars and to not let my death, push him back. I would tell my wife that no matter what happens, just know that I will always love her, and that I will always be there in spirit, and I will always be there for them, regardless of what happens or what I see.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say to whoever's up there and above, or or just put a message out for everybody that I love everyone, and no matter what, even if you cry, just remember that, I know I was loved, and that I'll be wherever I can be in spirit, and then I will see them someday again anyway. So cry for now, but remember that mourning periods end, and that life keeps going on, and to stay positive.
Those are good words, my man. Those are good words. I want my Pam said she wants her last words to be "I hid the body in the," and then leave them wondering. Okay. Not quite as heartfelt, but as effective.
I'm reading some of these. Pam says, "I want to know when Matt's coming by IRL."
Oh, that too.
Well, whenever you invite me over, I guess. I mean, we're literally neighbors, so just hit me up sometime. I'm pretty free right now.
Just make sure you meet her in a public parking lot.
Oh yeah.
Just in case. She's Pam. She's a very good person, but no. I was gonna say she's kind of crazy, but I don't want to insult her. She's not crazy. She's a great person.
She's a wonderful person. I would not have any worries.
MCT said her last words would be, "I'll be back, bitches."
That sounds like her. That is absolutely her. Good night, CCG. We love you. We do.
Absolutely.
Is Chrono still here? Is Chronopasta still here?
I haven't seen him for a little bit.
Oh man, I kind of feel bad because my voice is like almost gone, and I don't know how I'm gonna do an interview with him. Oh boy, I gotta think about that now.
Oh no, at 7:24 he said he had to drop out, and that was about 10 minutes ago.
Oh boy.
Yes, Pam, I know you literally gave me your address.
I could find her address. It wouldn't be hard.
I owe her a poster.
So there's a question from Anime Atome to Pam. Have you asked Matthew for feet pics yet? She has not.
You gotta warm her up to the feet pics. The feet pics come afterwards.
Well, I mean, she better be paying me some good money for feet pics. Feet fetishes are not cheap.
If anyone wants a picture of my feet, it is $10.
If anyone wants pictures of my feet, it's $5 per foot.
Okay, mine are now $3.50 per foot.
Well, I'm gonna keep mine at 5 because 5 is a pretty even number, and that's $10 for both, so it's still a deal.
I'm saying, so now mine is now $7 total, and yours is 10. So come on, guys.
Yeah, but mine are more beautiful than yours, so they're worth more.
Probably. Probably, Matthew. Probably.
Oh, jeez. Thank you, everybody, for being here tonight.
Yes.
I really do appreciate it. I can feel the love. We got 53 likes. I know at one point we had like 31 people watching. It could even be more, and I just can't see it now. But, man, thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you so much for... It's an even term. It's an even number in terms of money. Okay? It's an even amount in terms of money. An even number. Okay. Would you rather someone hand you a $3 or a $5 bill? Come on, man.
Well, if you hand me a $3 bill, I know you're giving me fake money. That's not cool.
Yeah, exactly. But no, guys.
They're all willing to pay for my feet. I have ascended, and we are good.
Raven, do you personally have any questions for me?
You know, I surprisingly do not. All the questions I had in my head actually did get asked. A lot of your I went into a lot of your inspiration questions. I wanted to know a lot of your inspiration questions, of which the chat asked both after, and they were also in the document that I didn't get to read before this. So, really, man, I think you answered everything I possibly wanted to know. I was, curious about like what got you to where you are. Um, if I may say, my man, I'll say it one more time. I've said it a few times already, but I'm gonna say it again. While I understand how, as we all do, you may face imposter syndrome to some extent. You may look at your success, how you've grown, and think, wow, I don't think I deserve this. I'm not this good. I want you to remember that you had all these lovely people here, man, to support you. You got these 53 likes. I mean, even without the likes, you had these people in their chat. They gave 2 hours of their time just to learn who you are as a person.
It's
Even if
true.
some of these questions were irrelevant, silly, funny, um, these people gave up 2 hours. These people gave you 2 units of measurement of something they can never get back. Because remember, time is finite.
It is.
You can have more money, you can't have more time. These people were willing to give you a percentage, no matter how small, of their life to learn who you are. And they wouldn't do that if they didn't care for you. They wouldn't do that if they didn't think you were worth the time. They wouldn't do that if they looked at you and thought you wouldn't succeed. And as somebody who has been told numerous times that I've grown fast, I'm looking at your growth, I'm looking at your passion, and that is why I am absolutely willing to support you as a person, Matt. That's why I'm willing to sit here and say, man, you do this. That's why I'm willing to help you, because you have the passion, you have the drive, you have the get go, you have it, you have it. It being what it takes, you have it. You worked your ass off to get here. You are growing at an exponential rate. You've grown tremendously, and honestly, from where I'm sitting, I expect you to continue to grow. And I'm gonna lay this challenge on you. I expect you to continue doing your interviews and giving it 100% of yourself. I know you have a kid. I know you have school stuff. I know you have a lot of stuff going on. I expect you to give this 110%, my man.
I
And the reason
I
the
will.
reason I expect no, the reason I expect it from you, and the reason I challenge you on this, is because if you continue to give this 110%, you will make it doing this. You will absolutely make something of yourself on this. Even if it's not about the money and it's not about the numbers, I'm a numbers person 100%, and I can see how the numbers correlate to desire, um, to passion, to that drive. Like I said, you have it. So, dude, keep going. Do not give up. If you ever feel like you need an ass whipping from somebody to tell you to keep your ass going, you tell me,
All right, I'll do that.
and I'll be there to do so. Be it over text or chat, I will 100% tell you to keep going,
All
because
right.
you have it. Okay?
All right. I'll remember that. And everybody, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for all the love. Thank you for all the support, all the wonderful questions. Just for the time, for your time. Your time means more to me than the likes and the views. What matters to me is that you guys took the time to sit here for these 2 hours, probably close to 2.5 hours now, of your life. You could have been spending working on your own stuff or getting dinner prepared or whatever, wherever time zone you're at, whatever you were doing. Narrations, recording. I appreciate all of you. And I will never ask for money. I do have a link to my PayPal. You'll see it on every video. But I will never sit here and ask for money for support. It's appreciated. It's loved. But it's not needed. And, it's not an expectation. And I just want to say, just what means more to me is your time. Your time and your effort in talking to me and helping me and being here and filling this chat. I have never seen a chat this busy. Okay, I have, but not on anything I've ever done. Especially not for a first live stream. Like, guys, remember, this is my first live stream. And I'm going to have a second one here soon for 200 subscribers, because I'm already at 170 as of tonight, as of right now. And I just appreciate you guys so much. God, I love you all. I say it, but you guys don't understand. I mean it. And I may not be able to put all of that passion and love into my voice, especially right now since I'm really losing it. I love you all. And I love all the support you give me. You guys are amazing. And I cannot thank you enough. And how I want to pay it back is you send me, just send me some lines for voice work. or for whatever narration or voice you need for whatever you're doing, I'll do it. I don't expect anything of it. You don't need to put my channel description in the or channel link in the description. I don't mind. I just want to do it for fun because I love you all so much. Thank you guys for being here tonight. I really do appreciate it. And Raven, thank you for taking 2 hours of your time. And I'm sure in Patience, I got to thank Patience for sitting here and taking 2 hours of her time, for being here and doing this with me. And thank you for being like my number one, the one main person I go to for all this stuff, besides a few others. But you and I seem to just talk the most, and
For sure.
I gotta thank you for all you've done, especially in the early stages of this and getting, Streamlabs set up and all this other stuff. And, yeah, no, thank you, Raven. And thank you, Patience. Patience is very much behind the scenes, but she does just as much work sometimes. We can't deny that.
She lets me do this kind of stuff, so.
Yeah, she lets him. Remember, she lets him. All right? She could be like, tomorrow be like, nah, you're done being a YouTuber. And he would have to listen. Nah, I don't know.
Right. I would. No, I would. I would. You're
okay.
right.
All right. Well, we still got to thank Patience for all she does. She's amazing. And Raven, you're amazing. And everybody else, you all are amazing. Thank you for being here. If anyone has anything else they want to say before we stop, I'll be here. I'll leave this going for like another 10 minutes, so y'all can say your goodbyes and whatnot. And I'll be active I'll stay here and talk for a few more minutes. I'm sure Raven will too. And then in about 10 minutes, so for me it's 8:50. For you guys it'll be whatever 50. We'll call it good.
I only have one request on that front,
Yeah.
and that is that I am allowed to walk away from my desk so I can please go to the restroom.
Go to the restroom, man.
I have drank an entire thing of water and I need to go.
I have drank 2 bottles since sitting here, so I understand.
I'll be right back.
So does anyone have anything they want to say to me while, we're not doing the questions anymore and just chatter? Hey, everyone here is amazing. Oh my god. God, I have so many good stories of all of you. Pam being like my first fangirl. Like, she was fangirling me from the start, and I love it. Thank you. And the fact that she's my neighbor is even funnier and even better. So, like, if I ever need to, like, go over there and be like, Pam, I have an idea. I need your your opinion. Oh, Seraphin has one question. Mass chat. Favorite movie quote? God damn. You asked such a hard one. Seraphin, why'd you ask such a hard question? No, Pia, you're not just okay. Stop. Stop that shit, man. You're amazing and you know it. You can give me a hug. Man. Never sleep. I will always take, an updated image from my channel. And I keep forgetting to mention Dodge. Dodge List 82. She was the first person to let me co-pilot a game with them. She's amazing. She's helped me edit a few videos now. I talk to her every day. She's amazing. Don't forget her. But Serapin, you asked a really hard question, and it's in a lot of ways it's obscure because I've seen a lot of movies. Man, I actually have to look up movie quotes because my mind, I actually don't. Between y'all and I don't actually have a great memory because of my suicide attempt and my drug years. I think one of my favorite funny ones, in the movie it's serious, but is I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse. I like that line. Casablanca had a good one. It was, here's looking at you. Here, let me look it up here. Here's looking at you, kid. That's it. Another classic one is my mom always said life was like a box of chocolates. You know, there's so many. Um, God, you guys are all amazing. Look at this chat. I have to actually scroll up in this chat, and I was just looking away for 10 seconds. Man, y'all are amazing. Oh, thank you all for being here, guys. Thank you so much. Oh boy. Oh, thank you so much. And yeah, no. If anyone wants to hug me, you know my address is 268. I'm not gonna give it out. I might give it to Pam, or not, because she's literally my neighbor, and she's more than welcome to come by anytime. Especially when it comes to video ideas, I might hit her up for like fan opinion. Match chats, how are you today? You know, I'm actually doing wonderful. It's been a good day. Unfortunately, I took a longer nap than I usually do because I literally slept through the alarm. If it rang, like my phone's right next to my ear. If it rang, I did not hear it. I actually almost
You're on time, so
I actually almost missed this today because I was sleeping so hard. But how are
we
you
were on
today? Oh, I love you too, Sevenfold. You are over 18 though, right? I had to throw in a joke. Oh boy. Hugs for me? No, hugs for you guys. If I could hug y'all, I would. I really would. Like, I love you all. Man, if I could hug Raven, if I could hug any of you, I would hug you in person. And Pam, you can always come by and give me a hug. You're a great fan.
I'm not overly touchy, but okay.
Oh, I would hug you anyway. You're amazing. You've done a lot for me. I have actually, Midnight Bard, I have been remembering to hydrate. I've drinking 2.5 bottles of water just during this alone. I want to thank Lizzie Battle. A few days ago, I was really feeling down, and I talked to Raven, of course, but I also talked to her, and she had she was really loving and great. She was right there for me, and she's also been on my gaming live, like every single gaming live stream I've had where I've drank. She's been there, and it's been such a great time. Oh yeah, if you guys watch some of these discords, like in MCTs or Mr. Spooks or Ravens, I'll go in there and I'll start live streaming a game right then and there, and I'll drink, and it's a great time because I do. Man, I drink and I just get funny because I start cracking jokes every chance I get, and I just don't have a filter anymore. Pam said, "I'm not touchy feely either, but screw it, get over here." All right, well I know where you live. I have an idea. You have to send me your address. Hell, I'll even come by in the next few days if you want. Just tell me. God, you all are amazing. I love you all. Like, I cannot say it enough. I really can't. Alright, guys, we got 3 minutes left. Because I want to get going to eat some dinner and spend some time with my son before he goes to sleep for the night.
Same.
I have to message Chrono and tell him, unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to do the interview because I'm literally losing my voice. I will not be able to talk much longer.
So did you get those lines done for me before this, or?
No, I slept through it.
I know, I'm giving you shit.
Okay, yeah, I thought you were being serious. No, I slept through it. Like, I had them pulled up, and I had Audacity pulled up.
Just don't forget that I do need that, like...
Yeah, I'm gonna do it tomorrow. If I have a voice tomorrow, it's going to be done tomorrow, and sent to you tomorrow.
Okay.
The editing is gonna take the longest time because I take a lot of breaths, as you can hear. I was actually hoping that you would do the editing. I'm not gonna lie, because you're better at it than I am, and you're probably a little faster at it than I am too. Well, you definitely
Not
are.
as fast as you might think, but because I edit as I record, like I said. So.
Right, but I'm sure you're better at it than I am. I was actually gonna talk to you about, maybe just me sending you the raw and letting you edit it how you need.
If you need to, that's fine.
Okay, then I'm probably gonna do that just because like it's a lot of time to do it, and I have like so much homework to do, and I have class, and I have so much going on, my man.
Do you want me to just not have you do the lines? If you don't have time.
No. I have time to like record the lines. It's just the editing I don't have time for. I mean, usually I do, but I have a really busy week. They gave us a lot of homework this week.
I understand.
Alright, 1 minute, my wonderful friends. Hot tea and some honey, brother. Fix your throat right up. Actually, that's what I'm thinking I'm gonna do after this. I'm gonna go make some tea, and put some honey. I use raw. I use raw and natural honey because I don't like the processed honey you get in the store that's been pasteurized. It just tastes weird. It tastes overly sweet. I get honey that actually has honeycomb in it, so I get little bits of honeycomb in there too, which help. I would love to see Raven editing like an evil genius. Oh boy, I'm gonna send him these lines, and I can only imagine what he'll do with my voice. I love it though. You said an MP3 or a WAV, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But then I realized you probably have Audacity 3.0. So you could probably send me the AUP file if you needed to.
Okay.
Prior to 3.0, you couldn't do that. So.
Okay. Just send it to me in a chat. Just remind me, WAV, MP3, or whatever that last one was.
Well, AUP is just saving it. Like if you just hit Control S.
Okay. So just a basic, file.
Yeah. So just do.
All right, I'll do. Thank you for.
Have the newest version of Audacity.
Yeah, I do. So thank you for editing it for me, though. I do appreciate
Yeah.
you. Appreciate it. Like, I like to just give people the lines that I read and let them do their thing. Like, I don't want to interfere in their process, because what if they like my breath at some point and I edit out that one good breath, you know? That really brings out that little bit of emotion. I don't want to make them lose that, so. Alright, everybody, it's time. Thank you so much for being here tonight. Raven, thank you for being willing to interview me, especially on such short notice. It was really short notice, because I was trying to come up with an idea, and I couldn't fixate on just one thing. But
You're good.
I'm gonna and it looks like, you know, from earlier, Phasmophobia won for the gaming live stream at 200 subs, so I'm gonna have to get a crew together for that.
Well, you know my name.
Yeah, I do, and you're probably gonna be one of them because you're just funny about it. Like, your carelessness of the game is just amazing. I find it so funny.
Well, I mean,
probably gonna be 242 and PA Nightmares as well, because they're pretty fun.
all right, I'll just tell patients.
Well, I want to include patients, but sadly, you can only have. Well, I want patients there for commentary.
You
as
just got my wife to flip me off. Thank you.
Oh, sorry. No.
No, no, it's fine.
Okay.
No, if it's you, me, 42, and PA, that's fine. She wouldn't mind. It's okay.
Well, I do want her there as kind of like just a watcher and to bring in commentary. So she is gonna be included. She just won't be playing. That's all.
Sure.
Thank you guys for being here and watching this amazing stream. And we have 55 likes now. 55! Thank you. Thank you guys so much. Is there anything anyone wants me specifically to say? Any kind of dialogue? I'll say it right now. I'll give you guys a few seconds because I know there's a bit of lag between me saying that and you guys typing it in, so, and hearing it. So, no, patience. You're gonna be there. You just won't play, but you will be there to commentate because I love your commentary. You are very funny, girl.
Oh wow. Click that link, Matt.
Click that link. Okay, I will. Oh boy, I do like that. I actually really like that. Okay.
That was unexpected.
That was. I like that. It could be touched up in a few places though, but I will get in touch with you and we will go over it a bit more in a personal manner. Or just hit me up on Discord. I can chat on Discord. Get to the chopper!
Get to the chopper.
Get to the chopper! See,
Why did you say... Never mind, I'm not gonna say it.
What? Say it. No, let's hear it.
You sounded like you had a Hispanic accent.
Oh, I did, didn't I?
Yes,
I'm
you did.
sorry. Sleep well, PA. Does anyone else have anything they want me to say? Any specific dialogue or line or sentence? You know, in a voice, a funny voice. Just say funny, serious, or like narrator, and I'll give you something.
I'll do it too. Whatever he says, I'll say.
Okay. I'll say it first, because mine's gonna suck in comparison.
Well, I'll say whatever he says, so long as it's not, you know, one of the isms.
I'm just gonna go silent for a second to rest my voice from the ones that are going to come in.
Bum, bum.
You know, we kept around 20 people on average for this live stream, 20 to 25 for most of it.
Yeah, and if it's almost 3 hours, so if that's 20 at 30, you'll get around 60 hours of watch time almost.
That's awesome. Thank you guys.
That's my guess.
Oh, Pam says say.
Say. Me.
Oh, have a good night here, Raising Narratives. Thank you for the subscribe and thank you for the ad on Discord. You're amazing.
Pam deleted her say.
Pam deleted. Why'd you delete her say?
Pam.
Pam, bro. Nah, we don't do that here. Say what you mean to say. I want you to say, I have a lovely bunch of coconuts. What kind of voice? Say, I want to be the very best like no one ever was. Oh, I love that song, bro. My son and I rock out to that Pokemon theme song like every single day. Okay. Do you want me to sing that? I'll sing that.
You gotta say PAs do that.
Yeah, I'm going to, but I want to know what kind of voice he wants me to use. Like a funny upbeat, like I could say that so many different ways. I have a lovely bunch of coconuts. Or I could say,
Probably like the song.
I have a lovely bunch of coconuts. Alright, and I'll even do it normal. I have a lovely bunch of coconuts.
Or like the song.
It's a song?
I have a lovely bunch of coconuts.
Oh, it's a song? I didn't even know that.
They all standing in a row. Anyway.
Okay, now I have to sing. I wanna be the very best, like no one ever was. To catch them is my real test.
Ow.
Yeah, I know. Sorry, guys.
No, you got loud.
Yeah, I did. I got closer to my mic, that's why. Let's see. Say chilling with the ghost. I'm chilling with the ghost.
Chilling with the ghost.
I'm chilling with the ghost. Hold on.
Eckies, bangs, zoom, boings, and your ring.
Eckies, a bang, zoom, boing, in the room. Okay. Eckies, a bangs, a boings, and your ring.
Yeah, close enough.
Actually, I usually sing in a deeper tone.
Dead Knight said funny voice for the chilling with the ghost. Like, I'm chilling with the ghost!
I'm chilling with a ghost.
I like everything about this.
Let's see. I'm gonna sing the Pokemon theme, that first line, in a haunting voice. I wanna be the very best, like no one ever was.
He wants me to read the Pokemon list he sent me.
Okay. He wants to hear my reaction.
Ent, Sting, Thranduil, Creebane, Gimli, and Kala.
What? What?
Ent, Sting, Thranduil, Creebane, Gimli, and Kala. Somebody's got a bit of a Lord of the Rings obsession.
Yes, I love Lord of the Rings.
No, I do too. I'm just...
Say ravens are zoinks.
Boy. Great. Say ravens are great. Because she was going to say falcons. Ravens are not falcons. I'm out. Bye.
What? You're not going nowhere. You're stuck here to the end. Ravens are falcons. God.
I'm dislike.
What? Don't you dislike my video, motherfucker? I will come through the screen and I'll whoop your ass live. What the fuck? I don't even know where that voice came from. Oh god. I do like the Lord of the Rings reference though.
Yes.
I don't think I'm funny, Dead Knight, but I do appreciate you saying that. I really do. Pam says I was not.
I think it's pretty funny.
I think I'm pretty funny too sometimes. Especially when I'm drinking. Gotta get that vodka. Thank you, Raven. That made my day the best. Aw.
Well, thank you, PA. Alright.
Anyone have anything else?
We need to go and have eat dinner. How's Zach, by the way? Oh. I don't talk to Zach anymore. Pan.
Who's Zach?
No, don't ask questions. Zach and I do not speak at this point in time. I have my reasons. He knows the reasons. He knows what he did. He's a terrible person for what he's done. And we don't speak to him. Thank you.
Is that art?
No, Zach is... there was a story that I read a while back that said I had a boyfriend named Zach, and she latched onto it.
Gotcha.
So she was being funny.
Matt, you are funny. Matt, sir.
Lamau,
you.
Matt, you are funny. Matt, sir. Oh no.
Let's see. Oh yeah. Does anybody? Okay, put a thumbs up in the chat. Does anybody want to hear me say "boy" like in the latest God of War game? I'm actually pretty decent at it.
Just say it. Just boy.
let me take a sip of my water. This is gonna get loud, so fair warning, guys. It's gonna get loud.
Take my mic off.
Boy, what are you doing, boy?
What are you doing, boy?
Boy.
Boy, get you on back into the barn, boy. Wait, what? Where are you going
What?
with this?
I don't know. Actually, every day, every single day, I look at my son and I'm like, boy. My wife hates it because I've been saying boy like that ever since I played that game. Boy! Boy! What are you doing, boy? Get over here, boy. Boy.
Boy,
Boy.
I was a 15-year-old girl.
What?
But,
Oh, Pam's got to go. She putting the little one to bed.
yeah, I gotta go, man.
Yeah, I got to go too. So,
Come on,
everybody,
let's wrap it.
everybody, thank you. Have a wonderful night. Raven, thank you so much for being here. And Pam,
Of course.
if you really want to, like, link up sometime, hit me up. You seem cool.
They'll buy you dinner.
Yeah, I'll probably buy her lunch. Like, I'm that kind of guy.
That's what I said. You'll buy her and her family lunch.
Yeah. I have a son. I'm just going to name him Boy. I actually, that was a joke between me and my wife. I was like, I'm going to name him Boy. So every time I see him, I can be like, or every time I have to say his name, I'll be like, Boy, no. Boy. All right, I can't actually do it anymore. But thank you guys. Everyone have a wonderful night. I'm going to go eat. Raven's going to go eat. I'm probably going to talk to him for a minute after this, though. He'll understand why. Never sleep. Hit me up about the picture. We're gonna talk about it. Pam, I'll chill with you later. Everybody, I love you all. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for the love and likes. Have a wonderful night.